I still have no words to describe how I'm feeling right now. I have no words. What? Like, can we just... I literally, make sure to put it in the chat. I'll answer anything. We're going to break that down, Brandon. But can we just talk about this for 1 second? The Knicks traded with the Raptors. They had that stupid lawsuit, that lawsuit going on. Still got it done. Nets, they traded. Nobody thought that was going to happen. They haven't made a trade since 1983. 1983. I'm just in shock. Uptown, sorry, I finished the space because I want to go live. We'll be having some other people are going to be joining. But I was not on my phone for 1 second. I just turned it off. Nothing's going on. I'm watching some baseball. Just watched the Commissioner's Cup for New York Liberty. Bang! Mike Breen voice. Mikal Bridges is a New York Knick. You're going to have a starting lineup. Jalen Brunson. Mikal can run the 2. OG. Now, we're going to talk about OG. Don't worry. We're going to get there. OG Anunoby. Julius Randle is a very interesting situation right now. Mitchell Robinson. They just had much. I kind of got the thought. I got a text today that something was happening. I texted Stan. Go ask Stan. He'll tell you. And I said, please be I literally have it in text message. Please be ready to go live because something might happen. As soon as I get off my phone. I need Stan up here because I don't know where he is. He's not answering his phone. He's probably running around his house right now. I'm not going to lie. But let's answer some questions. Put some questions in the chat or your thoughts. Brandon, really good question here. How are we going to afford these guys? That's a really good question. I personally do not think that the Knicks are going to give OG $40 million. As Ian Bagley reported a couple days ago that he's going to be having around, I think it was 35 to 38 million, and OG was not happy with that, I'm sure. So I think it's pretty much, I wouldn't want to lose OG for nothing, right? You traded RJ, you traded IQ, you traded a second rounder. This is the first trade that Leon has done that includes more than he has been very, as you can see, he didn't even trade a first round pick for OG Anunoby, right? He brought in Mikal Bridges. This guy is big time. He's Iron Man. That's my new nickname. I'm going to call him next season Iron Man because this guy does not miss games. We're going to get to some questions. Brandon, I think it will be fine. Mikal's not a free agent until 2026. We got a lot of basketball before then. Coulter in the chat said, let's go. I'm excited too. Mikal's on our team. Chris JT says, I couldn't believe it either. I still can't believe it. I still can't fucking believe that the New York Knicks, we can finally stop talking about this star trade and the first rounders. We're done. We don't need to talk about that anymore. Oh, when are the Knicks going to spend their first rounders? Here you go, guys. Remember that 22 draft? We were drafting all these, we were trading back and trading out the first round. Here you go. Here you fucking go. What? I can't get over it. Uptown Pure Dope Space, but this is awesome. Appreciate you. We're going to have more people join in just a little bit. Brandon goes, Knicks should trade Robinson and their 2 firsts for Jared Allen. No, I'm not on the Jared Allen train just because if you remember during the playoffs, he said Madison Square Garden's lights are too bright. So not sure I can sign on to Jared Allen. Champ in the chat goes, Mikal. I'm really bad. I need to start pronouncing his name right. Mikal. Uptown Pierre. I did, and I told the other haters that Mikal was on the list. No lies. Fire. OG gotta stay. OG gotta stay. OG gotta stay. But he's not gonna. I don't see the New York Knicks giving that much money. I personally just don't. I don't see them giving 42. I'm sorry, guys. That's a personal opinion. Let me know in the chat if you disagree. Randall and Mitch trade need bigs. I don't think that Randall and OG are going to be on this team next year. That's a personal opinion. I could be so wrong, but I don't think the Knicks are done. I think we need more wings. If you look in today's NBA, especially with the Boston Celtics, look how many wings they have. The Knicks need wings. If we re-sign OG, Hart would need to take a discount. I don't think here comes Stan, who just came up. He's going to tell the story. Stan, I was telling them the talk about how I said something was going to happen. Here's Stan. Just please confirm for the crowd. What did I say? Please tell this story before we get
all right, so fuck.
Listen to the
stories. Where do we start? So first off, we've been talking for, I don't know, all day today.
Yep.
We've been talking all day today. You've been sending me information about, someone that's been trusted to. He's been giving you information.
Yep.
He told you, what, 20 minutes before the trade?
Yep.
Was it?
Yep.
It was. I remember
emoji. I was like, wait.
It was even less time, and I remember I sent a message to Ray.
Nick's future too bright. I got to put the shades on.
Yeah, love it. I sent a message to Ray in chat, and I was like, "Yo, I think something's happening tonight," and then it was just like, "Really?"
Yep.
And I was like, "Yeah, I didn't really go into it," and then. At that point, that was like maybe 8 or 9 minutes. Afterwards, we got the breaking news. We all checked if it was fake. It was real. Real Woj account. What a fucking fleece. Leon fucking Rose, man. This man does nothing but cook. What does he have over the fucking league? Like, this is insane. How do we? We gave up Bojan.
Yep.
I just let the Rockets
shades too. You need your shades. Everyone put your shades on because
I just let I don't know if I have my shades on me. I got Stanley with me. We just won a championship. Hey, what's up? Say hi, Stanley. Hey, the Knicks are on the way. The Knicks are winning the championship next.
Look, how can you not be happy here? But what basically the moral of the story, I told Stan, I was like, be ready to go live. And he's not ready, first of all, number one.
I wasn't ready. I was still putting my daughter down.
And
yeah.
I was like, something's going on. Something is not right.
Don't judge me and my daughter putting my daughter down. It's 10 o'clock here. It's 11 o'clock where you guys are.
Feel free to share
I'm in Dallas. I'm not in my usual space. Not to say I'm not in my usual space. I'm home, but I'm not in Miami. But shit, what the fuck, man? Leon Rose that was a fleece. A fucking fleece. I understand.
Stan, a lot of people are talking. Stan, a lot of people. I wish we had Chris on here because I was saying we were talking about this the other day about Mikal. He covered the Brooklyn Nets, and it'd be interesting to hear about this. Shout out to the 584 people in here as it grows now 589. Feel free to share the live, share the whatever, your support. Really greatly appreciate it. Let's try and get to 1,000. But what I was saying was, Stan, was that I don't understand. A lot of Knicks fans are upset. Let's talk about the other side. They're upset about giving up for unprotected first.
Okay, let's go through it.
Okay.
First off, we have our 2 first-round picks in this draft still.
Yep.
Those were not included, right? So you gave up Bojan Bogdanovic, who you were going to trade anyway, right? The 2025 draft, I think most people expected the Knicks to be pretty well deep into the playoffs, making another move. That pick wasn't going to be worth anything. Like that, you're talking about a late pick in the second. Sure, like might have panned out to be something in the future. In the future, okay, 26 draft. We don't know there. 27, obviously, it's like 6 first-round picks. It is a lot. It is a lot. You still have 5,
Yep.
including 2 this year,
Yep.
including a fucking shit ton of second rounders, and those are supposedly the gold of this new CBA. Second rounders. You traded for a guy that just turned 27 years old. Nova Knicks. Leon Rose. You fucking did that. Jesus fucking Christ. What a, oh my God. Like, I'm speechless just because, yeah, we talked about this and we didn't even discuss it.
I didn't think it was going to happen.
Yeah, we just threw it away.
Was a free agent. I thought when he was a free agent, he was going to come here.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good chance that it come. But let's just break down this other side. Ian Bagley put that little nugget out there that Mikal, basically what happened this week, Mikal goes to his agent. I don't know what agency he's definitely not. I don't think he's with CAA. Someone correct me in the comments if I'm wrong.
I don't think he's with CAA.
Okay. Goes to his agent. I want to go play for the Knicks. I think what happened is Donovan Mitchell had I think there was something there maybe with Brooklyn, and then he was like, no, I'm going to go back to Cleveland. And Mikal's like, I'm not doing this alone.
Yeah, he just went through the season of just like,
I can't do this again, like with Brooklyn. All respect to Brooklyn again. And then he goes to his agent, I'm going to New York. His agent calls Sean Marks. Hey, Mikal doesn't want to be traded anywhere else but New York, and we are willing to do basically the Damian Lillard shit if you want to look like a fool that you are already. Because they went through that whole thing with the fans, the upset about Brooklyn, what happened with Kyrie.
Christian just finished writing. Christian's writing article.
Damn, right, I really wish that Chris could come on.
He might be able to. He just said he just finished writing. He didn't say that he couldn't.
Wait, I'm gonna DM the link to. If you guys don't know Chris Blash, he was the beat reporter for the Brooklyn Nets. He probably knows the situation better than anyone. I just want to ask him what is going on in Brooklyn, because then they made that trade with Houston.
Well, here's the thing with like I was saying just before coming on. Shout out to like our boys, Charlotte. Will and Brad O. Like,
of course. Shout
out to those boys. They have fucking 1,800 people in that space on a non-Knicks space because they had an ancillary. Not to say ancillary, because they do have their picks involved. First off, let me give you. I know we're still talking about the Knicks, but mind you guys, this is how much of a fucking win this was for the New York Knicks. They could have made the trade with the Rockets for the number 3 pick. The number 3 pick. Rockets fans was okay with this. They said, no, we don't want the number 3 pick. He said, no, we don't want our picks plus the number 3. Oh, man. Chris said he needs some time.
We're going to get Chris on here. So you'll hear the Brooklyn Nets former beat reporter's opinion on this, because I have so many questions for him.
God.
Because,
so, all right. So they could have made this trade. They could have got their picks back.
Yep.
Now they're going to suck.
The Brooklyn Nets are trash now.
They're going to suck. And the Rockets are going to own their picks. Wouldn't you want your picks back?
Well, the Knicks picks are going to suck. So, like, now...
The Nets picks are going to suck as well.
Yeah.
So, that's what I'm saying. If you're the Nets, wouldn't you go to...
But can we just break down... My question is... I want to get to... Let's just get to the question.
Was fucking butthurt. Hold on. Before you go on to the questions, Joe Tsai, the only reason why this happened is because Joe Tsai was butthurt that they got fleeced in that deal.
Yeah.
They got fleeced in that deal. They ended up giving away the number 3 pick. They didn't know it was going to be the number 3 pick, but they ended up giving so much.
Mikal's been asking out of the Nets for a while, and they were trying to use the Rockets as leverage to try and get their picks back.
Raphael Stone fucking...
The Rockets never offered their picks. This is what I'm being told right now. They were never offered their picks. And he's been asking out of the Nets. Brooklyn Nets was trying to use the Houston Rockets as leverage.
Okay, if the Rockets weren't offering up the picks,
We need Bordeaux. Can we get? I need Will. I need
they're still on, but maybe I could see if I could get them on.
Chris just titled his speech. Squidward has come out to play, and now the Knicks are in position to do something they haven't done in 50 years.
Oh my God!
You guys can look at that.
Beautiful. Look
Shout
at
out to the 773 people in here, guys. Oh, also we're doing a draft night space tomorrow, so I'm sure the Knicks are going to make another.
We'll upload this to YouTube as well by the morning. I'll have this on YouTube. If you haven't checked out our YouTube, we just launched. It's called Knicks Offbeat. So go to Knicks Offbeat at YouTube and check out all our shows. Really appreciate anybody that go there and just get us to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible, so we can start doing these live on YouTube. But yeah, man, let's continue to get into it. The Knicks still have this OG conversation of maxing him out. Obviously, less important. But Charlotte, now that we have Mikal.
Yep. Well, Sam's laughing about that. Uptown said around 35 to 38. If not Mitch trade, bring in Drummond and a wing. We'll talk about that tomorrow. White Star BJ said, I'm hyped. Been waiting for times like this. We got to play this song. Wait, I got to play. What's that song? It's like, wait, do you know what I'm talking about or no?
I do know which song you're talking about, and it's escaping me right now, but it's we used to pray for times like this. It's fucking Meek Mill.
What song is it called?
Is it it's not Dreams and Nightmares, is it? I don't know. Somebody help us out.
Song, put it in the question.
Been waiting on times like this. The first person who put it in there, I don't know. We do something cool. Let me get ready, says Kristian.
Kristian's coming, guys. Kristian's coming. Let's go.
Hold on, let me do a little quick runner.
Look at Shan. Guys, we're going crazy. Guys, I can't wait to not talk about the star trade for literally maybe 10
minutes. Man.
Gaming Nerd HQ said, regarding how we afford them, this was the Knicks' best selling point for JB to take less money and extend this year. It's going to happen. Uptown said 42 is over the top. Mitch gets traded to keep OG.
To the point of
OG.
Who said that a second ago?
Uptown around 35. He's not taking 35. I don't think that's going to happen.
I think right now
this changes a lot.
It does change a lot, Charlotte. If you're Brunson, you now do take you probably take a pay cut now. Yeah,
of course. Are you kidding? They just brought your best friend.
Yeah, like, bro, you have a Nova Knicks.
$10 million. I don't care. Well, maybe
where's Ryan? Bring Ryan back.
Yeah, Ryan Arcidiacono. We got to bring him back.
We got to bring Ryan.
Bring back Ryan.
Bring back Ryan. Oh, my God, man. As I'm a little bit out of breath from just running around the theater room for like 2 seconds. Oh, man. So, yeah, obviously, OG, that's still on the table. I don't think what the fuck are we doing about OG Anunoby still?
I'm not talking about him today.
Is it, Charlotte?
Yep.
We kind of have to talk about it just because when you reached out to me.
Yep.
He's there. He's there.
Oh, my God, Chris is here.
Chris is here.
Chris?
My God.
Wait, Chris, before you start talking.
Oh, my God.
Wait, Chris, can you retweet the live?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Retweet it. Kristian, I got to give him an opening. Chris is the former Brooklyn Nets beat reporter for the New York Daily News. He's covered Kyrie, KD, all of these situations, the COVID, whatever you want. Now he's on the Knicks beat. He knows the Brooklyn Nets probably better than any beat reporter on the Knicks right now. Sorry, but that's the truth.
Yeah.
Chris.
Oh, man.
Chris, I'll leave you to it. Everyone welcome Kristian Winfield.
I don't think any of us thought this deal was going to get done.
No, right? We were
just because number one, you think about the history. It's been so long since the Knicks and Nets have actually agreed to a trade. And number two, when you've got, someone like Josh Hart publicly, giving Mikal shit for like wearing a Nets jersey, right? If I'm the Nets GM, I'm like, but to the Nets credit, and I got Nets season ticket holders on my phone right now, and they're hot. they're mad, right? Because
they
they understand what I understand, which is that Mikal Bridges, sure, if he might not be the number one scoring option, but if you get him some help, if you get him another guy, damn, he's one of the best third options you can get in this league, right? So I had Nets fans thinking, oh, we're gonna go get Darius Garland and we're gonna go get XYZ and we're gonna go put something together. I got people on my phone right now that are ready to riot. That either way, number one for the Nets, and
we ride at midnight.
We'll be done with the Nets side of it after this. I think just the number of draft picks that they got, right? Like you've got a whole reset package right there, right? You're good to go. If you're the Knicks right now, you're like, yo, it's a lot of picks to give up. And then you look at your roster, right? And then you look at the idea of bringing OG Anunoby. If I'm OG Anunoby, I'm looking at this like, all right, I come back to this team and we got a real chance, right? Because Bridges and OG can match up with Tatum and Brown.
Oh, my God.
And now you've got Jalen Brunson, who nobody can match up with. And Julius, I don't know how many people can be in the gym with Julius. Julius is a wrecking ball, right? And that's obviously, we still got to get there, right? That's a whole thing in and of itself, right? But right now, if you're telling me that the Knicks are putting Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, Isaiah Hartenstein on the floor, good luck Eastern Conference, right? This is one of those trades that shows you, number one, this front office is for real. This front office wants to win more than anyone can even think. Like this is that kind of deal, right? And number two, these guys have won the championship in college, right? These guys won at Villanova twice, right? In 2016 and 2018. Josh Hart wasn't part of that 2018. These are guys that have continuity. These are guys that have won together. These are guys that wanted to play with each other, right? Listen, Nets fans, I'm sorry, but Mikal clearly wanted to be here, right? When you got your three best friends from college here and you see them thriving in New York, it's hard not to want to be a part of that, especially when Josh Hart is in the media and talking shit every time they play each other, right? So it's a great day for the Knicks. It's tough to swallow if you're the Nets. I mean, brutal to go out like this, but you have a whole restart package. Listen, it's hard right now for me to think about what like the matchups are going to be ridiculous, right? Because you can defend everybody right now. Jalen's already proven he can score against everybody, right? And Julius, you know how I feel about Julius. Only 4 players average what Julius averaged last year. They're all MVPs or Luka Doncic, right? So, I mean, this is a tremendous day for the Knicks. It's a tremendous day to be a Knicks fan. And they're not done yet because you still got 2 picks that you can move. There's a whole – oh, man.
Kristian, I said this earlier. I go, the Knicks' future too bright. I need sunglasses.
You pulled out the stunner shades, Charlotte? That's
pulled
crazy.
Out the studies. I like it.
You pulled out the stunner shades. Look at that.
I love it.
Anyways, Chris, can I ask you a question? We also saw the Brooklyn Nets make a trade with the Houston Rockets.
Yeah, they're just blowing it up. It's over. They're gonna just try to restart. And at a certain point, you got to do it, right? Because you don't have that guy that you think you can put the franchise on their shoulders right now, right? Like, you tried to do it with Mikal. That's not Mikal's role, right? And then on top of that, you got to figure this whole Ben Simmons thing out. You probably can't shed Ben Simmons, and no one's going to probably try to take Ben Simmons' salary out. So now you're just in another year in limbo. So this is kind of the route that they had to go. I thought they were going to try to figure out a way to compete, but it's going to be difficult when no one's probably trying to take Ben Simmons back. Listen, Nets fans, I see you in 4 years. Right, like that's the way it's gonna go. Or Sean Marks is a smart GM. He might try to flip some of these picks to get somebody, but you're gonna have to build through the draft. This is why once Jody Fernandez came out and said, "Oh, I'm trying to put an emphasis on development," that's what he said. I'm like, development doesn't sound like you're trying to win right now, right? So, and that's fine, right? Just restart the clock. It's tough, right? Because you think 2 years ago the Nets like they're about to go win a title.
Oh my God.
And that's why they were going to go win a title 2 years ago. And now my phone is hot. My phone is literally hot right now from people texting me. I got season ticket holders that are sick right now.
Squidward can now come play.
Squidward is out.
That was a really good question. But Chris, can I ask you a question? What do you think the Knicks overpaid? Let's break this trade down a little bit. We've got someone just texted me. What just happened with the Knicks?
Oh my God!
Wake up on social media.
Pull out of your rock.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
Yeah, right.
But can I just say also? So basically, what the trade? Let's break it down. The Knicks receive Mikal. I keep getting corrected how I say his name. Mikal.
Just imagine there's an I in there. Mikal.
Okay, Mikal. Yeah. Then we got the Nets receive Bogey, 2025 first-round pick, a 2027 first-round pick, a 2029 first-round pick, a 2031 unprotected first-round pick, a 2028 first-round swap, and a 2025 second-round pick of Brooklyn that they get back.
Yeah.
Did they overpay, Chris?
I mean, when you think about it, the only player you're losing is Bogey, right? You're trading draft picks who, I mean, you could keep those. You're going to end up trading those picks anyway.
Right.
You still have more picks that you can trade.
5.
You didn't touch your core. You still got all the Villanova guys.
You still have Mitch.
If you want to say that they overpay, sure. You gave up 5 picks and a second rounder for someone who might be the third best player on your team. You got to make the move to get the guy. And if I'm the Nets, I'm going to make you overpay. You want the final prong of the Villanova quartet? Give me everything. Run the whole bag. And that's what they have to do. So, like, overpay, you could say it, but, like, at the end of the day, it's the cost of doing business. I would make that trade every time. Every single time.
And Chris, obviously you've seen the chat between Charlotte fucking blowing us up all day. There was literally
I
offered.
texted Sam that something's happening tonight.
It was more than the Mikal. It was more than the Mikal trade out there. It's just that the Nets said,
I think that Jimmy Butler
I'm doing that.
Real. I think they were going to go try.
I think that was real too. I think that was real.
I think this is more along their timeline. Right?
Yeah,
like
it's
Jimmy Butler's on the way out.
He's
this.
Makes
we got
me
100 people in here.
Mikal caught a lot of flack, and rightfully so, because the Nets struggled with him as the number 1 player. But when you look at how he performed in FIBA last summer, he was coming up clutch. He was making big shots down the stretch. Yeah, that team didn't place for a medal, but that's not his fault. That's Grant Hill's fault, or whoever assembled that roster in an international setting, knowing that there's bigs at the power forward that they got to find a way to match up with. That's not Mikal's fault. Mikal did what he could, right? All those guys. This is about to be a ridiculous season. I'm excited. This is about to get crazy.
Chris, do you think that I personally do not see Randall and OG both on this team personally next summer or next year?
Next year? What do you mean next year? Like
next season?
Like at the start of the season?
Why?
Y'all be trying to put Julius on the first.
Yeah, right. Come on,
here,
Charlie.
I just don't see it. I don't see it.
Why?
I think they're going to try and get someone else.
Yeah, you could try. I think my main concern
right now is
Chris, do you think they're taking 2 rookies or 3 rookies in the next 2 days? I don't
see that. No. I think there's going to be a trade. I think there's going to be a trade. I think that there's a trade at the center position that's probably going to happen because you have to figure out Hartenstein or you have to figure out Mitch. I don't think you can pay both, right? And we've seen all the hoopla around Mitch getting traded. We've seen those rumors around. It's just tough, right, with the Julius situation because we live in a what have you done for me lately society, and Julius hasn't played lately. But the last time he played, he was dogging, and the Knicks were winning 12 out of their last 14 games when he was playing, right? So it's tough. We saw a willingness from Julius to move the ball, right? Like for a long time, we that's been one of the main sticking points with Julius. He holds on to the ball. He's a black hole with the ball. Well, once OG came, he was moving that ball. And now if you're telling me he's got Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby on the floor to help him, number one, who you going to double off of?
Right.
Because you got to help on Julius is going to battering ram down whoever's in front of him. The help's going to come. Mikal can hit a 3. Jalen can hit a 3. Dante can hit a 3. OG can hit a 3. Isaiah can make that extra pass and finish at the rim. There's just so many different options here. I think that, sure, could you say that you want to trade Julius? I mean, there's a case to be made, but there's also a case to be made to say, hey, Julius is a more than effective playmaker. You have to send to the ball. Otherwise, he's going to make you pay. And he can go out there and get you 25 and win you a game, right? So it's tough.
A lot of the Nets fans, Brooklyn Netcast on Twitter is very happy because they get their picks back. A lot of the Net fans are really happy, Chris. Are you kind of surprised by that?
I mean, I don't know what Nets fans those are. I don't know what those are pull up right now. Let me see if I can read it.
They said they got all their picks back and they got 5 picks for Mikal.
They didn't get all their picks back.
I don't think they got their picks back.
They did.
My boy Skrill said we built our brand on Brooklyn Bridges and now he's Manhattan Bridges. So
hey,
that's tough. Another one of my friends who's a Knicks fan who's a Nets fan just said, "Why me?" That's all he said. So like,
we've gone through so much pain as Knicks fans. We deserve this.
Like, come on, y'all just got here. Yeah, I just got to New York.
Watch out, just got here.
Yeah, I just got here. Like, come on, y'all gotta
Chris,
earn y'all
Are you shocked? What was your first reaction when you saw it? When it's not a fake Woj account?
As soon as I realized it's not a fake Woj account, I'm like, damn, I gotta write. I thought I was gonna be chilling. I'm relaxing, laying on the couch.
I didn't think this was gonna happen until tomorrow. I thought it was, but actually, like I thought, like before today, I was like, okay, maybe they'll make a draft night trade. But then I was like, oh, I think that Berman put out that Jimmy Butler, that was perfect. He knew what he was doing with the timing. I think that Jimmy Butler thing was real. That's my opinion. I think it was real, but
I think it was all real. I mean, I think Leon's definitely. Look, Charlotte, you literally messaged me that something was happening tonight. Be prepared to go live. I was putting.
What time was that, Sam? What time was that? Show the viewers. What time was that?
I might
show the time.
Yeah, Charlotte.
No, because so many people on Twitter are coming at me, and I'm like, they're like, she's an idiot. She knows nothing.
Charlotte's got sources, yeah.
She knows nothing about basketball. Stop listening to her. I muted her. Whatever. Anyways, Chris,
it was at 8:14, which is 9:14 for you.
Unreal. Look at that.
Yeah. You said be prepared to go live.
What do you guys think about Sadiq Bey? They're really trying to bring everyone Villanova. They're trying to recreate an all-time.
Charlie, you have to stop making stuff up, though, man. You really have to stop.
Me?
He's trolling you. I like Sadiq Bey. I don't know how they pull that off. I like Sadiq Bey a lot. I think that he's got the size. He could shoot the three. Remember, he was another guy who was supposed to be a net. The Nets traded that pick for Landry Shamet, and then here we end up with him being a guy who I think is like a prototypical kind of like, well, I would call him 3 and D. I don't know where Sadiq Bey ranks in terms of defensive metrics, but he's got the size. He can shoot the thing. So
shout out to the 1,700 people in here right now rocking out with us. We got a huge crowd today.
It's that time.
Now I propose we get the Villanova Knicks on the show. I'm joking. They probably
they might be watching this right now.
Okay, I need like a lesson. I'm just gonna call him Bridges for now. Okay, Bridges.
It's literally just Mikal.
I can't get it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm like Malika Andrews on the pre-show saying word wrong. Whatever.
MB.
Goga Badatsi said, Goga Badatsi, you're a Nick. Someone just said in the chat.
Okay.
Palace said, I can't process this. We're winning.
I would like to see the Knicks add a player at the 5 who can shoot the 3 ball. That would be nice to have. But other than that, you start looking at this team. You start looking at the depth, because at this rate, if that's your starting 5, you still have Dante and you still have Josh coming off the bench, and you have Deuce coming off the bench. And if you move Mitch, whatever you
get Deuce McBride in that trade, Chris. I don't understand. You know, like, what?
Yo, Leon cooked.
Wait, literally, how do you not get Miles McBride?
I think that's why you give up that many picks.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, all right. It's like, okay, I could just imagine how these talks are like, okay, we want Julius Randle. Okay, I don't know what that is. What did you just tweet?
Is that
no, not me. It says everyone. Oh my God, we got Bridges. I'm only calling him Bridges for now. Brock Aller looking at that 2026 second round pick.
Oh my goodness.
Listen, God,
this is why you give up 5+ picks, right? Because you want to keep guys. And now the Knicks are in position to win a title. And this is real. The Knicks are in position. When you consider depth, when you consider Mikal hasn't missed a game since I started covering basketball, when you consider Jalen Brunson has been out there, just come off his first All-Star and All-NBA, when you consider Julius Randle, provided he's coming back to this team and his ability to just destroy whoever's in front of him, when you consider OG, if he's coming back and he's re-signing and he's able to shut down whoever's on the other end. And the best thing about OG is he doesn't even want the ball on offense. He just wants to sit in the corner, shoot a 3, come off a little flare, and do his thing, right? You said what?
Does this change anything for OG contract?
I think that there's 2 things at play, right? Number one, if OG were to walk, Mikal can slide right into his role, right? I don't think OG. What is that? What is that?
It's Stanley.
Florida Panthers won Stanley Cup yesterday.
It's Stanley.
We got 1,800 people in the chat right now.
Shout out to all the 1,800 people that are watching.
Good luck. Stanley, he said, we won a championship. last night. Now he's gonna bring us luck for the Knicks.
I think there's even more to answer your question. I think there's even more of a reason right now for OG to re-sign in New York, because if you leave anywhere and if you leave and go anywhere else, for example, if you go to OKC, maybe you have a better shot to win. Maybe. But if you come back to New York,
yeah.
Number one, winning in OKC and winning in New York are two different things.
Right.
Right? It's two completely different things. Number two, if we're just talking about matchups, the Knicks can now, if OG comes back, the Knicks can match up with anybody in any maybe not in any generation, right? Because if Shaq were to come back, if the Knicks were to play Shaq, you know, saying that there's nothing you can do about that. But you're talking about matchups, you're talking about positional versatility, you're talking about a guy in Jalen Brunson who go out there and get you 30 on any night. You're talking about a guy in Julius who can go out there and triple-double. This is a great day to be a Knicks fan. This is an amazing day to be a Knicks fan.
I still can't believe. I mean, we said it. We didn't involve anybody else, but they're late picks. Like, these are going to be, that 25 pick is going to be worth what? Like are
we talking about this year's? Like next year's is going to be
no next year. I'm talking about these picks that were
next year. It's going to be like 26, 27. 25.
What are these picks? Like, why would you even take? If I'm the Nets, like, see, this is the thing.
Like, Twitter. Chris is not going to be that beat reporter that everybody's going to want.
Obviously, we have to talk about.
We have them for offbeat. Our loyalty.
Hey, this is about to get crazy.
We have to talk about Knicks Twitter every once in a while because obviously Charlotte and I, we run a lot of spaces on Knicks Twitter. We do a lot of spaces after the post game. So Knicks Twitter at the time, years, I want to say just last year, even now, those picks are worth nothing. We can't ever get anything for them. Now we just use those worthless picks for Chris. You said last time we can't win a championship with OG being our third option. He's no longer our third option.
He's
our fourth option.
No, because you got Julius Randle, you got Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, but maybe they bring someone else.
OG's our fourth option.
You can still trade those other picks. Maybe you trade someone else.
Who would you get though, Charlotte? I don't think you can. I think this deal now, I don't know if you can go get, Anthony Davis, right? I think that because you surrendered so many of your picks now, I think that's unless you're moving Julius, right? And that's the other part of this conversation. If you're moving Julius and then your remaining picks, then maybe you can get a superstar caliber. But if you're keeping this core together, it's your best packages now are probably going to be Mitch picks and maybe Deuce if you throw that in, right? And you know what can you get in exchange for that doesn't necessarily throw off like what does that do for you? I don't know. I like what the roster looks like now. I think you could still improve it. No,
I agree. Also, Chris, what I noticed yesterday, I posted this yesterday. If you looked, there were hints that something was coming because Brooke, who's Leon's daughter, posted
that. Yeah.
Leon on the phone.
I was wondering what that meant. I'm like, I'm like, you didn't just post that just to post that.
No, she didn't just post that.
Out here breaking news. She
Someone
got a career.
Here just said, I agree with you. He said Leon's daughter already gave us a spoiler today. Now we need his son to do work with OG. LOL.
Absolutely.
Adam Fee in the chat goes, I also think this trade may help with the OG negotiations. He may like this team and take less money, but it won't be a ton less unless he gets wowed.
I wrote something along those lines in my story for the New York Daily News today. I'm just thinking.
Check out Chris's story. I'm gonna try and link it in the
it's one of those situations where, like, if I'm OG, it's kind of the opposite end of the spectrum that Mikal was on right now, because now you want to be a part of this.
Right.
The Knicks have built something that you want to be a part of, and you have an opportunity to be a part of it if you forfeit a little bit of this generational wealth that's on the table for you right now. So it's like, I don't know.
It's tough if you're OG, just because if somebody can go give you your max, and not for nothing, we do not know if the Knicks are still kind of just like, look, we're not going to offer him this max deal he wants. He wants too much. He is not budging. I'm not saying that, but obviously we're on here talking, but it's a possibility. I'm not saying it's high. Nobody get mad at me. I'm just saying, what's the possibilities of OG now getting traded? Obviously, if he's like, I don't care, I want my max.
Oh, well, he's not under contract right now, so you can't trade him. And if you sign and trade him, I believe that hard caps you. So I don't know if the Knicks are going to go that route.
Are they at the second apron right now? I don't know that information.
No, not
No,
yet. No. They wouldn't be at the second apron unless they re-sign
Right.
OG and re-sign Isaiah. Right. And they'd have to sign both of them because the second apron number is like 180 something. And with this deal, before re-signing OG and before re-signing Isaiah,
they
they're
had,
at
10 million to our books?
in that range. So
I won. Now they still have their 2 picks. They got 24 and 25. And they still got 30. They haven't traded any picks this year.
I think they trade those picks away for like a 2025 just because of money reasons. For like you're now paying. I know it's only $3 million probably for these late first rounders, but you're not going to play these guys. And although I think it would like once you pick these guys in the draft, their value becomes less because I didn't want those guys. These are your players. I would pick somebody else. So, like if I'm the GM saying, not me.
We got 2,000 people now. Shout out to
2,000 people. Hey, what a day. Adam V says, I think Sims is going to be a better player than Robinson. Been saying it for years. Trade Mitch and see if we can get some multiple seconds.
I don't know about that.
I don't know that I would say Jericho's gonna be a better player than Mitch because I think Mitch is underrated. It's one of those what have you done for me lately things. Mitch gets hurt a lot. If you're saying he's gonna be better than Mitch, it's because availability is your best ability, right? Other than that, Mitch was on a historic rebounding pace this year before he got hurt, right? Mitch has a proven track record of being a shot. Yeah. But I mean, in Jericho's case, he got the start once Mitch got hurt, and then he got hurt, right? Tibbs singled him out as a training camp standout, so you never know.
D's Knicks in the chat said, do you guys think OG's contract announcement will happen day 1 of free agency? Yikes.
I don't know. That's tough to speculate on. I think if we don't sign him now, and we talked about this in the last show, I don't think anybody, like anyone that can get a max deal, I don't think they're accepting less unless it's the max. Because if not, you just walk into free agency and see what else you can get. Like, obviously, it's reports, whether you want to believe it or not. Katz, I think, I don't think Fred Katz is anybody that you just snub your nose at when he says, OG has the Knicks kind of by the balls, his words. Not to say it's his words, I think it was somebody else's words, he's paraphrasing. But either way, like, these aren't just things that are being made up at this point. Yeah. Like, I think we have to take everything with a grain of salt. But Leon is up. He is up.
Leon is up. But
I mean that's a double entendre right there. Like he's up on the phone and he is up. Like give that man his contract, give him his extension. Jesus fucking Christ, he's the GOAT of the New York Knicks GMs, like presidents. Like it's not even fucking close. Where have you been, Leon Rose? And we've been so impatient with you as a Knicks fan base. Fucking thank you, Leon Rose. You are this is the thank you right now. A lot of us didn't want to give you you get your flowers now. You get your flowers, Leon Rose. You absolutely get your flowers. Is your due. Oh my God, how did you pull this shit off?
Yeah.
There's I'm trying to think of Leon's track record, and there's really only one miss, right? And that's Obi for 2 second-round picks.
Yeah.
Everything else, we're talking about D Rose, talking about Josh Hart, we're talking about OG, we're talking about Alec Burks, and we're talking about Bojan. And you talk about that midseason trade. So you trade Bojan now to get Mikal, and then Alec Burks almost saved the playoffs.
Yep.
Right? Like, has not missed other than the Obi trade. And, I think Obi was expendable at that point because Julius was taking up the minutes. There was no way Obi was going to end up. And sure, you could nitpick and say he could have got more value, sure, but whatever. Right? Like,
yeah, right there. That was
someone in the chat. D's Nick said Lowry will be a Knick, another Nova player. We're just becoming. Should we just like literally become like we're gonna? Some teams were like, oh, we're gonna draft Kentucky guys or like these. Every Villanova guy is now gonna have a rumor to that. Now everyone. Now I see on Twitter. I'm monitoring Twitter a little bit. We got people talking about Jay Wright coming back to the New York Knicks, and we also got people saying Mikal Bridges is public enemy number 1. The next time I see him in Brooklyn, he will not be safe without security. Yikes.
Bro, it's not that serious.
It's
not that serious.
Bro, I love Nets fans, but I quite frankly just don't think there's enough of you to threaten to make Mikal feel threatened, right? Like it's just not it's not happening. I'm sorry.
Yikes.
I will be re-releasing the Nova Boys T-shirt that just had.
Just like what?
Yes,
just put that in there.
I have to because I have to now because I had just the 3 boys. I had just the 3 Nova Boys. Now I got to add Mikal on there. So
we got 2,100 people as we're growing. We were getting like a lot of views. So keep it up. Keep retweeting the space.
Oh yeah,
let's aim for 3,000 people. Okay, I think we can do it, guys.
I think we could get to 3K.
I think we can do it. Share it with everyone you know as the numbers just climbed. As I said that.
The news is breaking everywhere still. If you're just tuning in, obviously, Mikal Bridges has been traded.
It's not Mikal. It's Mikal.
Mikal, sorry.
Oh,
it's her fault.
Oh my
It's her fault because I was listening to you say it. Now I'm saying Mikal.
Mikal. Chris, where do you rank the Knicks in this current? Before any trades, before anything, where do the Knicks currently stand? In my opinion, I think they're the 3rd seed behind the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's a fair place to start them. I think depending on what Philly does, right? I think listen, Milwaukee, you got Giannis.
We're better than Milwaukee.
That's a hard. You got to show it to me first.
Prove
it to me first, and then
how are they better? They don't have a good coach. They don't have defense.
Well, Doc Rivers compared to Thibodeau,
he's terrible. You said it, not me. Milwaukee's ass. I'm sorry.
I won a championship in 2021, right? You got Giannis. Sure, it's a different team. Got Dame. The Knicks struggled against that team last year, right? Like, you got to show me you can beat them.
OG, and so we got to
show. Yeah, sure, you could say that, but you got to show me you could beat them before I can put you on.
Last time we played them, we beat them, and we smacked them.
Yeah, but I mean that was 1 out of 5 times.
But it was a new team.
This is true. Listen. You can make the case. I'm just saying you got to show me first. You got to show me some consistency. I'm still rolling.
Fair enough.
Giannis is different.
We got another tweet. I cannot believe we actually did it. We actually got this is a Nets fan. We actually got our picks back and are looking towards the future. Sean Marks, I owe you an apology. We tanked last year without our own pick, and now we tank with them. I'm confused by that Houston deal.
I thought the Rockets still have their picks.
Why would Houston do that? To get picks for KD? Like, it doesn't make sense.
I think they want KD. Listen, if you can get
I think
in the right scenario is tough. But listen, I mean, if this is what you wanted, Nets fans, if you wanted to go back to the years of rebuilding and kind of like
not selling more tickets,
they don't want it.
Tickets.
This is how you cope.
Listen, you had a good run. Let's put it that way. KD and Kyrie and James, that run was legendary. That was a generational run.
This is called coping.
It ended with injuries and with COVID, right? Who knows how it plays out if we don't have a pandemic that changes the scope of New York City, right? Or if Sean Marks doesn't trade James Harden for Ben Simmons and instead wait. That's the biggest thing. You tell Kyrie he can't practice and he can't play in road games even though there's no COVID mandate. And then you trade James Harden for a guy who doesn't suit up. Right, even though you could have just held James Harden until you knew that there was going to be the mandate lifted because the MLB season was starting, and you knew they weren't going to leave the mandate in with Aaron Judge wasn't vaccinated. You saw that coming and decided anyway to trade James Harden. I would have kept him. That's neither here nor there.
I would never trade him to the Knicks. Never.
Wait, who you talking about? Mikal?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's a tough pill to swallow.
Also,
that was strictly the owner being butthurt.
No, but also, how do you not get? Like, I'm requesting getting Miles McBride.
I think they could have got that Rockets. I know they said it wasn't offered, but I think they could have got it.
I think that's why you get all those picks, right? That's why you asked me if they overpaid. I mean, you want to keep. If I'm showing, I'm like, okay, you want to keep Deuce? Give me another pick. Okay, you don't want to trade Julius? Give me 3 picks. Okay, you don't want to trade any of these guys? I need more picks. I need a pick swap. I need that 2nd round pick that's looking like it's pretty good. Hell, give me the Bucks pick too. Give me everything you got. That's what happened.
Chris said in the chat, said the Knicks Nets trade isn't done. They have to expand on it.
Chris expand on that. Chris is our cap guy.
I think it's done. I'm pretty much isn't it done?
He's saying that for a reason though. Chris is not.
He said Houston's taking the Suns picks because if the Suns blow it up, their own picks are more valuable than the other team's picks. Interesting.
Yeah.
Gaming Nerd HQ said this might be wishful thinking. But is there a world where we send Mitch, Deuce, and the 2 first-rounders to move up and get Klingon?
It's Leon's world, and we're just living in it, baby. Whatever he wants, he's going to go out and get right now.
I don't know if you can do that, but if you can, I mean, I think Mitch gets you probably like a top 15-ish pick on his own.
No, I'm not trading the top 15 pick for a guy who just came off 2 left ankle surgeries in the same season. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
I mean, it depends who you are, right? I mean, like it depends who you are, because it's like you're getting a guy who's still 26 years old. He's not old. He's not old.
He's not, and he's dominant. He just has to prove that he's healthy.
Yeah, like that's what you're betting on, and he's on a great contract.
Look at this Nets fan that bought all the jerseys of the guys that have been traded.
Oh God, poor guy. Get your money back. Doesn't NBA have like a?
No, not anymore.
Man, I'm so sorry, Nets fans. You were this close.
Oh man,
you were this close. Literally, this is the distance between Kevin Durant's foot and the 3-point line. If he hits that shot, you go into the championship. You probably beating the Suns.
Probably won a championship, yeah.
So tough.
And none of this happens.
I don't think this trade's going to be expanded. I think it's done. I think it will be kind of finalized tomorrow. But Knicks said, my only worry with OG is the rumors of him wanting a more offensive role. His role won't be as big now. Is that something to look out for?
I didn't really buy that report. And that's just me. I'm not hearing anything. I've just spoken to OG a lot throughout the course of the season and haven't watched him play. He's not the type of guy who's thinking about himself on offense. He's not a me guy. He's a team guy. He wants to do what it takes to help the team win. So for there to be a report that says OG wanted to take more shots, I mean, I don't know that that's the case. Sure, maybe that could be the case. That I'm not inside his head. I don't know if he goes home every night, you know what I'm saying, swearing, cursing, oh, I wish I got to take 50 more shots. I just don't think that's the case. I think he's content. I think he knows who he is as a player. I think he knows his role is taking pressure off of the main guys who are out there to score and going out there and competing on the defensive end. He's a guy who's going out there and giving all of his energy on the defensive end. How much more energy does he have to take 25 shots in a game?
Chris is in the chat. He's in the space. He's in our live right now, Chris, just audio only. Chris, what's up?
Can you hear me?
Yup.
I can hear you, Chris.
So to explain this, the Knicks will be hard capped at the first apron with this trade right now because we took back more than 100% salary. So then we could go back to them and also trade DeKente and Jeffries to them, which would mean that we end up sending out salary, which would hard cap us at the second apron. But if we expanded the trade to, say, the Thunder and threw Mitchell Robinson to the Thunder, who they could absorb into their cap space, and then they threw back some random one young player to us, we'd be sending out 2 players. We'd be getting 2 players, so we're not aggregating salaries, and we'd be sending out cash still, so we wouldn't be hard capped at all.
So wait, so you're saying that the Knicks are getting hard capped with the trade as is because they're taking back more salary than they're sending out with Bogey?
Yes, we would be hard capped at the first apron, which is like $170 million.
Okay. With the cap holds, right? Is that what the cap holds?
It would give us about $45 million to spend on the rest of our free agents. So that would be OG and whoever. That would mean Hart would for sure be gone because we couldn't afford to bring him back. But if you do this trade that I did with OKC, where you send Mitch to OKC, you could then have the room to go into the second apron again. You could go and offer Hart his max contract and bring OG and Hart back.
Interesting. So
I gotta dig into that because I'm not.
Chris is our cap guy. He's super familiar.
Well, Chris cap guy, and then there's Kristian Winfield. We got 2 Chris's.
What aren't you getting, Chris?
Yeah.
Well, the Knicks are under the cap right now because you don't have if you re-sign OG and you re-sign Isaiah, that's gonna send you over, right? But as of right now, Isaiah's a free agent, right? And as of right now, OG is not on the roster. He just declined his player option, right? So
but the trade,
the player option should fall off if OG declined. No, I think we still have his cap hold. Cap holds are still on.
Cap holds don't matter.
Yeah.
It's not the cap holds that matter. It's the fact that we're taking back more salary in this trade. We're sending out $19 million, and we're taking back 23.3. So because we're taking back more money, that puts a hard cap at the first apron, which means we can't go over the first apron. So in order to not do that, we have to at least add the two million dudes to the Nets trade. But then we would be aggregating 3 players into one. So that would then hard cap us at the second apron, which is doable. We could do that. But if we want to bring iHeart back, we would then have to try to not send the 2 million players, but instead send Mitch to a team that can absorb him for us to pick back 1 player. So then we're sending out 2 for 2 and we're lowering our money. So then we're not capped at all. We can go into the second apron as far as we want.
Got you.
Wait, so they're in the first apron right now as it currently stands, right?
Right now.
If with our cap holds, yes. So if we do this, if we don't adjust the net strain, then we're going to have to waive iHeart's
bird rights.
His bird rights. We're going to have to get rid of. We're going to have to waive him. We're going to have to waive the bird rights for Precious. We're going to have to waive Burks. Everybody.
Well, I think that because there was a report I think Ian put out that Bagley said that it's unlikely that Hartenstein comes back. I think he's probably going to Orlando or OKC, one of those teams. But I feel like they don't even care about the bird rights because he's not going to take that much of a discount to come back to New York, or would he? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
You might not be, but if we're not bringing iHeart back, and that's how the Knicks feel, then they're going to have to throw in those 2 million player dudes to the Nets deal, so that way, yeah.
And Charlie.
So it's about keeping Mitch or losing iHeart at this point.
Yeah, if we're losing iHeart, I would try to keep iHeart personally, but we can't be stuck at the first apron because that's too tight. We need to adjust this Nets trade, which I'm sure they will. The Nets trade, it's not done yet. It's got to go to the league and all that. I'm sure there'll be adjustments.
I wonder if I think they'll trade at least one of those picks next, maybe to punt it to 2025. But I wonder what's going to happen tomorrow, because tomorrow I think the Knicks could still make another move.
I think there's moves.
I think they put Mitch to OKC and take a first-round pick from the future from OKC for it.
Well, OKC has those.
That will free up money, and then you can also get
money, and you get a future pick.
Right.
Yeah, you could send Mitch to OKC for their 2025 pick from the Miami Heat. It's lotto protected.
Chris, they got over 11.
Yeah, so you could send Mitch to OKC for the Miami Heat's 2025 lotto protected pick.
If I'm OKC, I'm all over that. Like what?
So that would mean the Knicks get a young player that OKC doesn't care about. Mikal Bridges. The Nets get Bojan and all those picks, and then OKC gets Mitchell Robinson. The Knicks wouldn't be hard capped at all, and then they can make their run again at iHeart.
Well, there you have it. Appreciate you, Chris, man. Stick around, definitely. Anything else that you feel like we might have gotten, I don't want to say wrong because we're just reporting obviously trades, but numbers wise, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That definitely makes a lot of sense now that you break that down that way. So I know a lot of people were possibly thinking, does this mean we can keep Mitch? It depends. Chris just laid it out for you. We'd have to send out Diakite and
Jeffries and Charlie.
And Charlie, that's $6 million because both guys make $2 million a piece. Maybe Sims,
I don't know what they're doing with Sims. I don't understand this. Oh, looks like when Chris is reading something. So
yeah, no. I just I appreciate him breaking all this stuff down, but some things I need to just digest. And
yeah, absolutely.
No, you're good. You're good.
Chris, if you're trying to read it, go to Bobby Marks. He put out a tweet about it to explain it.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes all right. Hold on, let me see.
Well, I shout out to over 2,300 people in here right now. But I just, if you keep Mitch, they have to do that. Wait, am I confused, or do you have to trade? You have to pick at least one first-round pick this year, right? Or am I completely off on this?
I don't know if that matters, just because we didn't have a pick last year. We didn't. I guess yeah.
Well, now they're gonna have to pick in 2032 and beyond for the next. I'm pretty sure that's a rule now because they traded.
Yeah. Well, all the picks that we kept are their stipend, like obviously the trade stipend, the Stepien or whatever you call it, the Stepien rule, whatever it is. But yeah,
the draft is going to be so interesting.
We still have our 2 picks. I just don't know what we're doing with these picks.
Where's Paul George going? Where's Zach LaVine? But I can't believe it.
First domino to fall
is I feel like everyone was waiting for something to happen with all these rumors. It's like it was like a bubble and then it popped and the Knicks finally got on. But it's funny, Chris, it's interesting. There was no rumors about Mikal. There was nothing. It was radio silence. It was just like the OG trade.
There were reports that the Nets weren't trading Mikal, right? We saw those reports.
Yeah, but nothing of like
those reports. So you said what?
Nothing that it was gaining steam to the New York.
Yeah, no, this came out.
Something maybe Mikal like asks to request a trade to New York.
That'll be interesting. I'm not sure.
I think they probably just did right by him. Obviously they had offers for him. I think the Rockets were still
Rockets.
I think the Rockets obviously clearly they had conversations with the Rockets. I think they were probably trying to get that 3rd pick back. Maybe the Rockets weren't budgeting on it, and they was like, all right, cool, let's do this Knicks deal. They want to give us 6 picks, even though it's like 2 swaps. I don't know. These are late picks. I know people, like some people, like I said, I left the Rocket space earlier. Shout out to those boys, Will and Brado. They on Bleacher Report. I don't know if they're still running, but they had about like 1,700 people in there before I left. They're pretty happy with it. They're pretty happy. They're talking about making KD trades, all this stuff. I don't think that's a smart move, but they look like these were the pieces that Sean Marks, like these were the conversations that he was able to back and forth with these guys, and obviously Leon had conversations too all day with different teams, and I do think that Jimmy Butler trade was possibly real. I think the Paul George trade was possibly real.
Mm-hmm.
But look, Sean Marks said, okay, like as Chris alluded earlier, oh, you want to give me this much picks? All right. It became like a no-brainer, even though they're late picks. Look, when you look at it, they made off quite all right after trading Kyrie, KD, and Harden. I mean, obviously, it's not what they wanted. But at least they were able to reset. We were clowning the Nets for just being like the laughing stock of like the reverse. Like, the Knicks were the laughing stock for a long time, and it was them. And now they have a future now. But we don't know what it is.
I just can't believe I can't wrap my head around that the Nets actually traded him to New York. Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
Like, you haven't made a trade with this team since 1983.
Yeah. 40 years.
Like, what?
Look, Joe Tsai came out in his press conference. He said he was blowing it up. He said he was blowing up. He stood true to his word.
Well, now they're really going to restart. Brooklyn is definitely – I think the Knicks will, like – Barclays will be even more crowded with Knicks fans. He's public enemy number. I can't wait for that first game in Brooklyn for Mikal.
I'm trying to figure out how you blow it up and you don't end up. Well, they got a pick. Did they get a pick back from Houston for this year's draft?
I don't understand this Houston. I need to.
How do you rebuild this year with no picks in this year's? Oh man, they're gonna have the number 1 pick in next year's draft for sure.
They have enough picks to get involved in this draft if they want to, and maybe
I don't know if there's anyone that I would trade future picks for.
Can we break down this Houston?
They're clearly trying to get Cooper Flag next
year. Brooklyn has a deal with Houston to return the Nets 2026 first-round pick for a 2027 Phoenix Suns first-round pick. Rockets also acquire a 2025 right to swap Houston/OKC first for a 2025 Suns first-round pick.
You know what that means? It's about to be bad in Brooklyn for at least 2 seasons because they want that 2026 number 1 overall pick, which means they about to tank this year and they about to tank next year. I'm sorry, Brooklyn.
Eddie, I'm not sure you're asking for a link. I don't know what kind of link.
I'm so sorry, Brooklyn.
You're asking for. Please just clarify in the chat. I can't post a comment, I guess, back, but I'm not really sure what link. But shout out to the 2,400 people, to all of you guys Means a lot. Appreciate for you supporting us. Chris, I don't understand I understand the blow up and the Knicks giving up 4 first-round picks. You're going to overpay, but you didn't get a pick in this year's draft.
Yeah, I mean,
Eddie's asking to join the stream. I think
that helps them tank.
I got you, Eddie.
Yeah.
It's about to be depressing at Barclays. It's about to be like a morgue up in there.
Apparently, the Knicks are talking about Walker Kessler right now.
Yeah, I got you.
Backup center?
They're talking with Utah and Grizzlies for Kessler for Mitch.
You said the Utah Grizzlies?
No, I said Utah and Grizzlies.
Oh, I thought you said the Utah. I was like, what?
And. I got you. Eddie, I got you. I'll send it to you right now. I was saying
Let me see if I could get Will.
Yeah, try and get Will, get Bordeaux. I'm going to invite Eddie up here. What I just don't understand is, Chris, I really don't get how you don't get a pick. At least a young prospect you can try and develop this year. You know? Am I maybe crazy for thinking that?
I don't think getting a prospect this year moves the needle in terms of like wins and losses, right? Like you could develop a guy and still tank this year, but I don't even think it matters. They don't have their own picks. Like they're trying to get back to 2026, but
that's such a mess. That
tough.
is such a mess. I really would not want to be the Brooklyn Nets right now. Like, it's been hard being a New York Knicks fan.
I just want to know who's about to be on that poster that you sell in season 2.
But can you imagine being in ticket sales right now?
I'm printing out every single Cam Thomas 100-point propaganda that I could find because Cam Thomas is about to be the man.
Yeah, but Cam Thomas was solid, right?
Yeah, no, Cam Thomas is about to average 50.
What about Noah Clowney?
That they're probably gonna try to develop him. He could be a good.
Do they bring back Claxton?
Yeah, more than likely. I mean, well, now you got. I don't know what they do because if you bring back Clax, he's gonna be miserable. The vibes are gonna be terrible in Brooklyn right now. Like,
who's the head coach?
Jody Fernandez. Yeah. And I knew when Jody Fernandez told reporters he was putting an emphasis on player development that this was about to go left. You know what I'm saying?
I just thought personally before all of this happened that Bridges was going to try and form his own team in Brooklyn, whether that's bringing a Donovan Mitchell type player to Brooklyn to potentially do that, but they just reset the whole market right now.
I think what happens is it's really difficult to build a winner when you got Ben Simmons making $40 million and you don't know that he can play. And you also can't move that contract. It becomes really difficult to build a roster around that. Yeah, that was a man. Hate to see it.
I'm not sure.
Charlie, can you hear me?
Yes. Yep.
One of the people who I know from around the Lakers, who's another cap guy, Eric. Do you know Eric Pincus by the name?
Yeah.
Yep. I've talked to him.
I was texting him, and I guess he just tweeted out this too. Taking a look at it now, the Knicks deal with the Nets on the potential looks like it could trigger a first and hard cap, but that's just going off the names that are reported. Final deals tend to grow slightly. For instance, the Knicks could decide to move off a bigger contract like Randall or Robinson to another team, perhaps with the potential to fold 2 deals into one. You were talking about Kessler, right, from Utah?
Yep.
It could be something like Mikal Bridges and Kessler to the Knicks, Bojan to the Nets, and all those picks, Mitchell Robinson to the Jazz, and you'd probably have to throw a pick into the Jazz because Kessler's a good player. So maybe they get the Dallas pick or something for the Jazz. And that would give it to where the Knicks aren't hard capped at all, and they would still have the ability to go after Hart, and we would have Kessler in the deal too.
I just think that I'm hearing that it's a Mitch for Kessler type thing.
Yeah, but if what he's saying is, and what we were texting about, is that it could be 2 different trades that get folded into one, so that way the Knicks aren't hard capped.
That makes sense to me, but I don't understand where you. I guess it's not going to be announced by the league until Chris. How many days it takes? Chris Winfield. Sorry, I'm going to call you Winfield because now it's Chris and Winfield. I'm just going to have to confuse.
Just call me Cap Guy.
Cap Guy.
How long does it take for? I'll talk. Actually, Chris Cap Guy. You're going to be Cap Guy. Chris, you're gonna be Chris, and Eddie's gonna be Eddie, and Stan's gonna be Stan. I just don't know how long does it take for a trade to be announced? 24 hours, right? Or am I crazy? Or if it's being expanded, then it can take longer.
Well, you remember physicals and everything come into play too.
That's true.
Yeah, it could. This will likely probably be done on the 28th on Bojan's
Yes.
auction day.
Before
That will
that.
probably be when the deal gets done. Is on that day, like officially done.
I can't believe it. We got Eddie Presti on the show now. Eddie, what's up? Thoughts on this?
This is a hard pill to swallow for me. I mean, if you guys know anything about me, you guys know I've been preaching keep those picks under any circumstances possible. And what we gave up today was a package you'd give up for Luka Doncic, SGA, Giannis, Steph, LeBron. I mean, this was a superstar package of picks that we gave up. Now, I know a lot of you guys will say, well, Eddie, Mikal's only making 20 million over the next couple of years. And I get that. But when you give up 5 picks, 4 unprotected, to me, you have to get someone that's like a superstar. And that's a lot of picks for a guy that's never made an all-star team. You know what I'm saying? He's never been, quite the guy. And my biggest worry was going into this season was that the Knicks needed a true number 2 behind Brunson. So I know like a lot of Knicks fans love Randall. I like Randall. I loved what he did in January. But in my heart of hearts, I don't believe he's a number 2. I truly don't believe that. So I think the Knicks gave up way too much. And this is their last move now, because as far as picks go, unless tomorrow night they go out and they trade those picks tomorrow to maybe, an Oklahoma City or to the Houston Rockets for some, future first-round draft picks in the years we gave up, 25, 27, 29, 31. If they can if they're not going to draft anybody, they might as well go back and try to recoup some more first-round picks so you can still trade other picks. You get what I'm saying?
No, I got you.
They gave up everything for Mikal Bridges, and I love Mikal. I love the fit. I think it's great. But if you ask me in my heart of hearts, I still don't think this is a championship team. I don't believe that. So I think they're great. I think they're top 5, top 6. But if you're asking me truthfully, I don't think we're better than Boston. I don't think we're better than Minnesota. And, Denver, we're on the fence, and who knows what Philly's going to do. So I'm still kind of, I'm very upset with how many picks they gave up. That's my biggest concern was the amount of picks.
Let me ask you a question. Would you have rather given up Julius Randle for Mikal Bridges than the picks?
This is going to be interesting.
Probably. You know what? If I had to give up Randall without the picks, because then I would have bought somebody else in. You know what I'm saying? I would have gotten, and you're not going to replace the 25 and 10 from Randall, but you could have pivoted somewhere else and got another guy in here. Again, that's a tough call, but for me, that is the creme de la creme. When you give up 5 picks plus a swap plus, the 2 seconds,
It's a lot of picks. It is a lot of picks. You have to pay the Brooklyn Bridge tax. We'll call it that. Right? You have to pay that tax. Otherwise, you're not getting the guy.
Eddie, what happens if I could tell you that they can get maybe 3 picks back for Randall or for this year's Hornets or Pistons pick?
No. We don't want to trade Randall for picks.
Yeah, look, the whole thing of now trading Randall for somebody in this year's draft, that is not the plan.
Yeah.
We got to bring, if you're going to trade Randall, it's got to be for a name, a veteran. Yep. We can't get some kids here like that. That makes no sense. It's officially fuck the kids now. Let's keep it a buck. Let's fuck the kids now. So
I 2,600 people that we have in here. We're almost at our 3,000 person goal. But Eddie, we can finally stop talking about the star trade.
Is he really a star though, Charlotte?
Can a friendship? I said this all season. Friendship is gonna give us an NBA championship. I'm kidding.
Friendship's the star.
No, but in all seriousness, I get your. I look when I saw it. I saw we gave up 4 plus.
It's a lot of picks.
It's a lot.
Shitload. And what if Milwaukee's terrible next year? What if Dame goes down or Giannis goes down and that pick lands in the top 10?
I mean, now we're just hypothetical in the whole thing, right?
Yeah, I mean,
we're expecting Milwaukee to lay down after they laid down last.
I mean, they look pretty shitty in the second half of this year.
Have you seen Inside Out 2? Have you seen Inside Out 2?
No, we're not using.
You're being anxiety. You're being anxiety right now. You're being anxiety.
I'm being anxiety.
Listen, this is healthy though, right? Because we've been look, the Knicks are this is an amazing trade. Listen, there's probably
I love it.
He's not the only one. He can't be the only one. He's probably speaking for a decent sized subsect of Knicks fans who did not like.
He is. No, but Chris, a lot of Knicks fans like Eddie. Eddie's not the only one that are very upset about how many picks.
Eddie, what's the consensus on? Eddie, were you in Spaces?
I did a space, and then I realized like everybody else had a space.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So the Morning Brew guys were like, "Yo, get in here!" So then we just
shout out to the Morning Brew.
Yeah, so they ended quick. They did it for like an hour, and then we wrapped up. And then I was going to go into another space. I see you guys, so I'm like, all right, let me go in here.
Nice.
Appreciate you popping in. Yeah, definitely love that perspective. Just because, look, we've been in here on fucking cloud 9. How do we pull this shit off? Especially, look, Eddie, these are all going to be picks that are nothing. Like
26,
late
27.
The
31, the 31st, that hurts.
Right. But I'm with you. Like everybody's saying, Eddie, fuck these kids and fuck the draft picks. And they're, like I get it. And like these draft picks will amount to nothing. But remember, your own unprotected picks are literally one of your most valuable assets. That's how you get the best players in the league. It always starts with your own unprotected picks. So for me, I love the Mikal fit. I love it. I just don't love the price. That's it for me. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
That's really it. I think they gave up way too much. And for Leon, a guy that's so conservative, this is not like him. You know,
Hey, let me tell you something right quick, man. I walked into the Jamaican spot yesterday. Asked them how much for a large platter of oxtails. They told me $24.99.
Okay.
I bought it anyway. I bought it anyway. You
know,
it
was a great oxtail.
I know the oxtail is hitting, and I know at the end of the night I'm gonna be good. Sometimes you gotta pay for the oxtail.
Right.
Sometimes you gotta just pay for the oxtail, even though you know it's too much, even though you know they skimping on the gravy. You know what I'm saying? You gotta buy it anyway. The Knicks bought the oxtail.
Love it.
And now we're hoping the oxtail is hitting this season. I think it's gonna be hitting. Let's see what happens. Speaking of oxtail, I'm gonna get some water real quick. Give me 1 second.
I'll ask you guys. Do you guys now think we're a championship team?
No.
Contender, yes.
Contenders, but we're gonna make another move. We're gonna make another move.
But when we traded all our picks, what else?
What are you talking about? We still have this year's picks.
We have 2 picks in it. We have 3 picks in this draft.
We have 3 picks in the top 40, Eddie. We got Mitchell Robinson still.
You know who they should get?
Bullion, bro.
Well, look. You know what? A lot depends.
Bullion, bro.
I know what you're I'm cool with that. But a lot depends on now what's going to happen with iHeart.
Pay for the oxtail.
Pay for
the oxtail.
We just started a thing now on Twitter. I just saw someone.
Charlotte, leave the screen like that so we can see just leave the comment there so it makes the picture look better, I think.
Like this?
Yeah, just leave the comment there.
Okay. Diego said pay for the oxtail. Kevin Kohlmeyer says, what other move via trade
Big Bronny.
What other move via trade, if you could have any, would you do?
Well, let's think about the roster, right? We're assuming that the Knicks are bringing back OG.
Yep.
Right. We're assuming that's a starting 5 of Brunson. We're assuming you're going to bring back iHeart. So we're looking at Brunson, Bridges, OG, Julius, and iHeart with Deuce, Dante, and Josh off the bench, right? Those are the givens, right? So from there, what do you need? From there, you need
a backup big.
You need a backup big, right?
Backup point guard.
Backup power forward, I would say.
Yeah, probably a backup 4. I don't know where you guys stand on bringing Precious back, but I don't know what the number is going to be. I think he played well in terms of being a versatile guy that you could bring off the bench who can kind of play. That's tough. What else?
And how does the Precious deal work? Because the Precious deal, we sent him a qualifying offer, correct? Is that how that works?
He's restricted.
$7 million,
Right.
yeah.
So he accepts a qualifying offer after everything's said and done. Like, he doesn't have to accept it until free agency's over, really. And then that gets tagged on to everything else at that point. At that point, we're already second apron. But yeah, you can bring in Precious as your backup still. If I don't know, Eddie, Chris, are you still there? Or Cap Guy? Cap Guy, you still there?
Chris?
I don't know if he's here, but I do think once you offer someone the qualifying offer, it counts as a cap hit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. As for the cap, whatever their cap is.
Is he restricted?
Yeah.
He's a restricted free agent. All right. So if he gets an offer, we have the right to match it, basically.
Right.
And he might get a big offer.
Precious?
I
He
would
might
see
get
Precious
8,
getting
9
a big
million.
offer.
Like, 8,
I
9
could see him
million.
getting the MLE, the full. I could see somebody offering him the full.
Wait, can
MLE.
I just also preface something? I don't think people. Am I crazy? Do we not have a trade exception still?
We do.
We
For
should.
RJ, we have one for, I think it's 5.5.
Yeah.
And I
We
think
have the Obi one?
Obi.
You got the Obi one, right?
We have
When did that fall off?
We have the Obi trade exception.
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now. You got a $6.8 million one for Obi. You got a $5.2 million one for RJ, and then you got a $3.8 million one for Malachi Flynn.
You got to use these, otherwise they just fall off. So
you got to use them by July, I thought, right?
Yeah, I think once you go over the second
His
April,
deadline's here. The Obi
oh
one.
yeah, you're right. I think
The
you're right
Obi one
about that.
expires July 8th. The RJ one expires December 30th, and the Malachi Flynn one expires February 10th, 2025.
Oh, so they still got time for those trade exceptions.
Yeah. Mhm.
But if you go,
Chris,
I don't
isn't it when you go over the second apron? It's
I thought so. That's why I was trying to
Yeah,
get Chris
I think
back
you
in here
lose
because
those.
they,
When you go-
it freezes a lot of the things you could do.
When you go over the second apron, they immediately disappear. But the
Thank
OG one
Yeah, I thought
was
so.
an off-season deal, so it'll go first.
I thought so.
the
Sorry,
voice
Chris,
of God.
Cap,
Right.
Cap, repeat that. Cap.
Listen, man, the Knicks right now are in.
Wait, Charlie, you want me to repeat?
Yeah, I didn't hear it because I was saying voice from God.
Oh, when you go over the second apron, all current trade exceptions disappear.
Okay. And we're not at the second apron right now.
No, right now, unless we change this trade, we're hard capped at the first apron.
I don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna try and get. I think they're gonna. It makes more
There's
sense to expand it.
There's going to be some kind of change to that trade. There's no way the Knicks hard cap themselves.
For people that are just joining us, when you first came on, can you give like the breakdown of what we would have to do to kind of like stay, where we could kind of be a little bit more flexible? So
Yes, right now we're hard capped at the first apron because we took back cash. We took back money in the trade by trading 19 million for 23 million. So in order to fix that, we would need to make it to where the trade is we're sending out money. So either we need to put in those $2 million players so that way we're sending out money, or we need to find a third team that can take someone like Mitchell Robinson and absorb them. And then that would be completely legal, and we wouldn't be hard capped at anything anymore. If we do the $2 million dudes though, we're hard capped at the second apron, which means we can't even be a second apron team.
So we kind of have to make those moves just for us to be able to be flexible, use our trade exceptions, because it freezes a lot of different things. I believe if once we're over the second apron, and we won't.
Yeah, the first apron is the one we need to worry about right now because of that trade. So that needs to be adjusted. Once that's adjusted, which it could be adjusted by adding another team and throwing in a bigger player or those $2 million dudes, then we can worry about what happens after that.
Cap Guy, do the Nets have any? Do they have a multiple open roster spots? Because that's important.
They could just waive those guys if we threw them in there. They don't need to take them. People make trades all the time where they bring on too many players and waive them.
Okay.
They're going to be bad, so they're not going to care about a couple of $2 million cap holds that they're
Well,
waiving.
that's possible that those get added into the deal later. They're not important tonight.
Yeah,
I mean, they are to us.
those could be added if we just want to be hard capped at the second apron. Yeah, you could throw in DeKente or however you pronounce his name and Jeffries,
Okay.
and that would make it legal. But we would be hard capped at the second apron,
Yeah.
which means that iHeart's gone at that point. If you want to keep iHeart, you need to make a bigger trade like Mitch to Utah or Mitch to OKC, where we're just absorbing, or they're absorbing them into their cap space. And then we would be able to go into the second apron. And that opens up possibilities because then you could throw a $30 million deal at Burks
Right.
if you wanted to make him a trade chip at the trade deadline. Because a 1 year, $30 million player is a nice expiring contract that a lot of teams might look at and be like, oh, we can get an expiring contract for a player who we don't want anymore.
Also, reminder, these are the picks. People keep asking me, so I'm going to clarify. These are the picks that New York has left past Bridges' trade. In 2024, they still have 24, they have 25, and they have 38. Nothing's changed this year. Next year, they have the Washington first-round pick, but it's probably going to be 2 second-round picks in 2026 after all of those protections.
I think that pick could end up conveying, because I think I'm the only person who thinks this. I think the Wizards are one player away from not being a bottom 10 team, right? And that pick is top 10 protected, right?
Yes.
I think the Wizards could luck their way into, and you don't have to make the playoffs.
You
right?
want the Nets now.
You just have to be
same with Detroit. I think that they're close
It's
too.
probably going to be a second in 2027.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Detroit. I think that Detroit pick is cooked. Detroit's gonna be there for a while. I think the Wizards are one player away from being just good enough for the Knicks to get that pick. That's just me though. My editor thinks that the Wizards are perpetually doomed. So
The reason I think the Detroit pick has a chance is because it's got an extra year on it, and by the time it's done, it's like 8 protected. So are you really thinking that in 3 years there's going to be Detroit's going to be a bottom 8 team?
I would not put it past Detroit to be terrible.
You never know, though. They brought in a new president.
Yeah, they did.
You know, maybe
they did, yeah.
Maybe they see things differently, and usually after a while, somebody's going to start doing hitting. I mean, they've been bad for a long time.
I don't know if this was talked about, but I don't know, Cap, if you talked about it, but Keith Smith just put out a tweet and said, here's the thing about the Knicks and hard caps and all that. They have one of the best salary cap management teams in the NBA. They'll figure out a way to make it all work. Might cost them another pick or two in subsequent trades, but they will make it work.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, where, like with the Jazz, you might need to throw Mitch and the Dallas pick in and get Kessler. That would be a 2-player for 2-player trade, so we're not and it would be us losing money. So that would be not aggregated, and it would be us losing money, so we're not capped at all. We would be able to go as high into second apron as we want. So that would give us a fighting chance to keep iHeart, keep OG, keep all the players, keep Precious if we wanted, and we could keep everyone we wanted at that point if they want to be here.
Do you guys think they'd give up Walker Kessler for just Mitch?
No,
you have to add picks in there.
You got to add a pick.
But what picks are we adding?
The Dallas, we still have the Dallas pick they can have. They can have the Detroit pick, the Wizard pick.
We got 24 and 25.
I don't know. I mean,
feels like a lot. I don't know if I'd do that.
I think there's that, and then
I would want to get a pick back. At this point, I would rather get a pick back.
It sounds like it's sayonara, Mitch, man. We hardly knew you. That's tough, right?
I mean,
the question is that if they know iHeart's not coming back, because they've been talking to him, if they know iHeart's going to go for a bigger deal, then Mitch is staying. They're not going to trade Mitch at that point because they're not going to lose iHeart after they've traded Mitch. Yeah. So this week that we've had this conversations with them with the early extension talks has been helpful for the Knicks.
I'm just gonna pull up teams that have cap space real quick because it's like, where would iHeart go? That makes sense. Like, is he gonna go take the bag from Detroit?
Detroit would be one. OKC would be one. Orlando would be one.
OKC though, right? Because you're gonna move Chet to the 4.
Yeah. See, I'm with you, Chris. I don't think any of those teams make sense because I think Orlando needs a point guard and shooting. I think Clay makes a lot of sense there. I think D'Lo makes a lot of sense there. Yes.
The Rockets would be in on. I will actually just Will from Bleacher Report, from Will and Brado, he just reached out. He said he's recording a pod. He said he should be able to pull up for a few.
I really don't understand that Houston Brooklyn trade. No matter how you try and explain it to me, it still doesn't make sense.
It's all for a chance at one of the two Suns' big players,
Devin Booker
or Kevin Durant. Because if they blow it up,
that's
like let's say they have a bad year and they decide we're done. Those picks matter because they can't tank. They can't tank without those picks because someone else owns them. So if they are bottom 3 team, they're stuck. So they want their picks back, which means that's why they're more valuable because then they can say, screw it, we're trading everybody and we're going to tank and then we can restart.
Do you guys think there's a possibility maybe we move 24 and 25 for, it's like, down the road for other teams' first round picks?
That's what I was thinking.
That's what I would do.
Yeah. We can't do that until after the draft.
We couldn't do like something like get some of OKC's Clipper picks or, use some of Houston's picks, something like that, down the line. So
we have to make a pick this year.
Well, all right, so we'd make.
What about the second? We can't make. You're saying we have to use a first, right?
We have to use a first this year, but
that's what I thought.
If on draft night, like on the 24th pick,
won it last year.
At the 24th pick, if we pick whoever and the commissioner comes out and says with the 24th pick, the Knicks pick blah blah blah, immediately all the picks can be traded. Immediately because we've made a draft pick.
Package 25 and 38 to move back in to another year. So you can go get like a 2027 or a 2029 or something like that.
27, 29, something like that. Just because if you do that, then
shout out to the Brooklyn Nets though, man. They and Joe Tsai for saying what he was going to do and then doing it, like and not making it like a rival, like it's the Knicks and not look. He's still on business, right? He didn't give a shit about the New York Knicks.
You guys think it's a rivalry?
No, not with Joe Tsai there. I think it probably was, but Joe just brings in a different atmosphere. I think he knows what he wants. He doesn't want to deal.
How the hell do you sell Brooklyn Net tickets?
Cam Thomas, 100-point game. Book it. Cam Thomas about to become the all-time leading scorer.
You think Cam Thomas stays?
Yeah. They have to keep him. He's their marquee player right now.
I know, but I could see them pushing him and Finley or whatever the other dude's name is out and taking whatever they can get and running.
You're not going to get what you want from him, so you might as well keep him, right? Keep him.
They can't trade Cam Thomas. Well, they can probably still trade Cam Johnson. I think Cam Johnson's probably the next guy to trade. But if I'm the Nets, you can't trade Cam Thomas. He's the only thing you got.
He's calling up for Cam Thomas right now, like, hey man, we need.
If I'm Cam Thomas, I'm the happiest man in the world right now because I got the greenest of green lights.
Yes,
Cam Thomas about to average 40. I promise you. Shout out to Cam. He's a bucket.
Yeah, 41 night, and then the next night, like two for 12 or 2 for 15.
I ain't gonna do Cam like that.
I'm looking at the current roster of the New York Knicks. You got Jalen Brunson at the 1, Mikal Bridges at the 2, OG Anunoby.
Just call them Manhattan Bridges. How about that? That makes life a lot easier.
Jalen Brunson at the 1, Bridges at the 2. You got OG Anunoby at the 3, hoping he comes back. Julius Randle at the 4, Mitch at the 5. Deuce, Dante, and Josh off the bench. You're going to
Mitch at the 5? We don't have Mitch. Right? You mean Isaiah? If we're keeping Isaiah,
I'm saying as it currently stands.
Right now, yeah.
I don't think he's coming back. I think that they're going to try and get OG back, but I'm not confident. But I think Isaiah's going to go to OKC, Orlando, some of that team. But Jalen, Bridges, OG, Julius, Mitch, and then you're going to run an 8-man rotation with Deuce, Dante, and Josh. You need more players than that.
Yeah. That
veterans minimums.
They can add.
Andre Drummond, you're a New York Knick.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why they got to get a 4.
I was joking.
Kevin Love.
And you also have to remember, you're going to end up drafting somebody, right? If
Tobias Harris
in this draft. Imagine if you go get, Charlotte, one of your favorite guys. If you go get Ryan Dunn, he might be in that mix, right? He might be somebody that you look at, right? Like, if you draft somebody at 24 and you need a 9th or 10th guy, I don't see why not, So But I doubt it. They'll probably go get somebody, right? Like,
I mean,
wait, can I throw a scenario? What if they sign and trade Isaiah and try and get a pick back?
I mean, that's a possibility.
Why would they do that? Why would Isaiah do that?
Yeah,
to go where he wants.
He can go where. Well, that would work. Yeah, if there's a team that can't sign him.
Right. Because
That's the only way it works, though. Is if it's a team that can't sign him.
His wife does have that business, and she wants to be in major cities.
I don't know why you would do that though if you're the Knicks, because then you'd be trading Mitch to be able to re-sign Hart to trade him again. I don't understand. So you lose in both centers. I don't.
No. It would be just a sign and trade with Hart to put him to a team that maybe.
And I guess you're keeping Mitch at that point.
Exactly.
But if you keep him Mitch, then you can't sign and trade him to whatever somebody's going to want to pay him, because right now you can only pay him but so much.
You can only pay him so much, even if we traded Mitch. The Knicks can only pay him $16.2 million to start.
Yeah,
right. But if you move Mitch, now you can pay him more. Is what I'm saying.
No, you can't.
No, it's the same
Because we only have his early bird rights.
Yeah.
That's the most we can pay him. That's why he.
72
That's the
and a half.
problem.
4 years, 72.5 is the number.
Yep.
Okay. I thought we were able to, because wasn't the conversation that we were trying to move Mitch to free up more space to sign Hart?
The idea was to move him so that way it opens up the hard caps. So that way we wouldn't be hard capped. So then we could give Hart his max, which would be the 47.25.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
yeah, it's tough, Stan. It's a lot of.
That's why I said a sign and trade with him doesn't make sense, because if he's going to another team, if he wants the money, then he can't. Then there's no point in a sign and trade with the Knicks, because we're still hard capped even in a sign and trade.
Yeah.
Most we can give him is 4 years, 72.5.
Chris,
no matter what we do.
Other Chris, what are you thinking is the most that Hart could command as a free agent?
I think some team might give him 2 years, 40 to 45.
I think he could get $100 million.
I don't. What team is giving him $100 million? really want to know that. That's $25 million a season.
Do that.
Detroit definitely. If the one team that will overpay a center would be Detroit. I agree with you, Chris.
Yeah, that would probably be it.
That would be the stupidest move Detroit could make, but it's Detroit, so possibly.
True.
I'm just thinking, like, if it comes down to a difference of, like, if you're telling me 4 years, if you're telling me 2 years, 20 million, and he can get 472 and a half, and that's like, in terms of average annual value, it's not that far apart. You know what I'm saying? Like, why even? I don't know. Why leave a good situation where you could win a championship to secure what is it, $6 extra million? Or it's over 2 years. So
Chris, remember though, I don't mean to cut you off, Stan.
No, go.
Remember, some of these, if Orlando, OKC, Florida has no state income tax, and OKC has a much lower state income tax than New York.
Yeah.
So if he gets a higher offer, he's going to bring home a lot more money than he would else.
You're living in Oklahoma City, though.
Exactly.
Not New York.
Yeah.
Shout out to 2,838 people.
Oh my God, we need another 1,000.
Come on, we get up to $3,000.
Let's get it.
1,162.
There's literally 2,000. It's 238 here in New York, but genuinely
1138 for me.
I'm very interested to see what Leon's next move is, because this roster's not done. It's not done.
Can't be.
And look, I know we haven't talked about it, and we won't go into it because it's going to be probably a whole big on thing. But OG, we still got to figure out OG.
Okay, I'm going to give out a hot take, and you guys might disagree with me, which is totally okay, and the chat might too. If they can't sign OG to $40 million, I don't think that the Knicks are willing to give $40 million. Personal opinion, okay?
That's so much money.
I don't think they're giving him $40 million. I think they're going to try and sign and trade him for a player.
Paul George?
I mean, are you doing any variation of OG Anunoby for Paul George?
No.
If you're not going to sign,
we're not giving him $40 million.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If you're not going to do that, then you have to get something. You're not going to let him walk.
Hap guy, can I ask other Chris? Can I ask a question? If they were to give $40 million to OG, which I don't think they will, how much would they be? They would be at the second apron, right?
Of course.
Yes.
You'd be at second apron, give him 35.
With the way it is right now, no.
If you bring back iHeart, then yeah. On
Yeah.
top.
If you bring back iHeart, yes.
Why is everyone so scared of the second apron? You just pay luxury tax, okay?
No, because you have to match dollars for dollars. You lose a lot of
trade.
like.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
3,000, not 3,000, 20, 30 picks. It's like some shit like that. I mean, even though we just moved it, so I guess it doesn't matter.
We just moved our 2031.
No,
Yeah, I mean, we were thinking ahead.
So it goes, if you're over the second apron 2 out of 3 seasons, on that third season, 7 years down the road, it becomes a dead pick,
Right.
which if you have the first overall pick, it goes to 31.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. So I mean, that's
I mean,
big.
These are
Can I ask a question? What do you guys think of this trade?
first world problems.
Personal opinion.
Go ahead.
You guys are gonna think I'm crazy.
It's okay, Charlie. It's still the
Charlie, you look like a mad scientist right now, just concocting trades up in your
I
lab.
get it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I'm just gonna put my sunglasses up because the
Ton of shades. Yep. Do it.
Um.
Oh, the double glasses is
The
crazy.
Yeah,
Gates-
double glasses.
Gates on top of the glasses. I love it.
OG sign and trade for Jimmy Butler.
How?
How much is Jimmy Butler making this?
46.
6? I mean, if you're gonna try to trade him, you what? A couple million off.
Would Miami take that though?
Right, that's what I'm saying. How?
You
That's
have
what
to
I'm saying.
add. I mean, at the end of the day,
I
OG
probably
is a
would if
lot
I'm
younger
Miami,
than
to be
Jimmy. You're
honest.
getting younger with
Can
that
I
deal.
wait?
Yeah,
I
I would.
actually wrote down my scenario. Can I? May
I
I?
would
share?
do it.
Wait. Isn't Miami's over the second apron?
Yeah.
So we could sign OG to the exact same contract as Butler
Yeah.
and move him
Right.
dollar for dollar.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay. This is what. This is
Yeah.
the trade. Hold on. I need to.
OG's contract can't be that high.
It can't be that high. I thought like he
start at
got
42,
49.
right? That's the max we could give him.
His first max season would be 42.3.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, it'd be,
So
it'd be
his
coming at
average is
30%.
Okay. Wait.
What if they descended it, Chris?
Yeah. Can you or no? Can you descend it and you start him? I wonder.
You can always extend a contract, yeah.
But still be at 42.
Descend it. So highest first,
Right.
lowest last.
I wrote
That
this
would be starting
before.
him at 50 then.
I
But
don't
you
know.
have to find a way where he
Chris is
matches
like,
Jimmy
oh,
Butler.
yeah, you speak about it.
The most we can give him for a max contract would be 42.3 his first season,
Right.
which is 30% of the cap.
I wrote this before the Mikal trade, but I had OG Anunoby and Jericho Sims plus 2 firsts for Jimmy and the 43rd pick.
No, we don't got 2 firsts anymore, Charlotte.
I
We
said
do, but we have to make them. Yeah, we have one. We could trade one.
No, it would be the
An argument could be made that Miami supposedly wants to move Bam to the power forward, so you could do an OG Mitch sign and trade
Ooh.
for our Jimmy. That would
who's our center?
that would be legal.
Right. We won't have.
Delaware.
Yeah, we wouldn't have a center. I'm just saying. I'm giving Charlotte. I'm giving Charlotte her
No
want.
center, guys.
Guys, I found it.
Jericho Sims would be our center.
Andre Drummond and Brian Archidiakono are our center. Andre Drummond. You heard it.
I like Drummond.
Gosh, hard.
I like Drummond.
I did not know that my Ryan Archidiakono tweet did numbers.
Oh,
I have no
yeah,
clue what's
for
up
real.
right now.
Julius Randle, full-time small ball center.
Wait, but why can't Julius run the center? He won't rebound. I forgot.
He
Sorry.
can't be a center.
He can't.
And he goes up against any real center, they'll destroy him.
Charlotte. You've had a lot of good ideas. It's been a great day for you.
It's been a really good day for me.
Let's not change that here by saying
It's been a really
five all
And
year.
I just gotta say, I will always remember this day. I remember the OG
Congratulations on
trade
that.
because I was texting the two of you, and I'll always remember the Mikal trade, McCall, whatever, Bridges. I'm never gonna get his name right. I literally am going to go after the stream and practice his name in the mirror because I literally cannot remember it. No, but I think OG, if they're not going to raise your hand or in the chat if you're listening, or make emoji or write something in the chat if you think they're going to offer him for over $40 million. What?
Charlotte, I've been saying this. You have to.
I think what's going to happen is Philly's going to come.
Right.
If they don't get Paul George,
Right.
they're going to max. They're going to offer him the max, and then we're going to have no choice.
Yeah. And you match it anyway.
Exactly.
Chris,
We give him 5 years and make that last year a player option.
if they were going to give him $40 million, why didn't they just give it already?
Because they're not
We're
playing.
wheeling and dealing.
Yeah. You don't
That's
have to
what I'm
come to
saying.
agreement now.
We got 2,900 people in the chat. Shout out to you guys for listening to all of our craziness between the four of us and Chris, Cap Guy. But I just
Hold on, I got something.
Who's the final piece, fellas?
Chris
Who's the missing link?
Chris got something.
Is it Paul George?
He's in the kitchen cooking
Is
with that oxtail.
it Jimmy Butler?
What does that say?
20-3. Yeah.
What's
Plus
23?
That's the record. That's the
we
Knicks
have
record in games that OG has played in the regular season.
Okay. Yeah. That's
20
why we're going to max him.
If I'm OG, I'm not saying any words in negotiations. I'm just
Okay.
20-3.
That's a strong. It's a strong point, even though like it's that 20-3. A lot of it's in the soft schedule of January.
Did
we don't
you
care.
see the Knicks defense before the trade?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Did you see the Knicks defense after the trade?
Yeah, we're the best team in the NBA.
Did you see
By
OG
far.
in the playoffs?
Nah, kind of.
Did you see him drop 28 before he got hurt
Yeah, I did.
in 28 minutes?
Diego said 24.99 oxtail.
Diego. He understands. Yo, hey, brief aside, the price of oxtail these days is out of control.
It really is.
We need to take back oxtail.
A little bit.
Take it back.
Wait, like never had oxtail in my life, so I'm not.
Oh my God, Charlotte.
Charlotte,
I had oxtail.
I'm gonna
You know what I actually did today? Shout out to Joe Shanghai, downtown in New York City. Joe Shanghai soup dumplings, absolutely out of bounds. Fire.
Okay.
Try them. One of my favorite spots. Soup dumplings, best. Maybe, Chris, maybe we can get, some reporter should write an article about, this is completely off topic, but is OG Anunoby still in a hotel room?
I mean, I would assume so, yeah, because he don't know where he's gonna be right now. He could be here, he could be in Philly, he could be in OKC, he could be wherever, right? Like when I last spoke to him, this is in the playoffs. He still hadn't found a place to live. I'm like, dang. Okay, well, let's see what happens. This is probably why. This is why you don't rush to buy a crib when you're a free agent, when you're a looming free agent, right? Because you don't know where these negotiations are gonna take you. So yeah, we'll see.
I really don't get how you pay OG Anunoby $40 million. I don't see it, guys.
You have to, though. They have to. At this point now, after giving up 5 picks, and Chris's point.
All
Michael Gentile says in the chat, pick Bronny with the 38th pick.
Got LeBron in here. Have him play the 5.
With what money? We don't have money.
The veterans minimum.
Yeah, that meant.
Imagine.
I will say the Knicks are creating.
Real talk. Do we think that the Lakers are taking Bronny in the second round? Probably, right?
Yeah, they have to. I think the Knicks are creating an environment where they're gonna have guys who just want to be a part of this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like this is for yes, Tibbs is the head coach, and yes, Tibbs, that player poll that you had in the middle of the year where guys are saying whoever the coaches that you would least like to play for, yeah, he won that. But make no mistake, Tibbs is gonna develop you, right? Tibbs is gonna make sure you're ready. And Tibbs is going to make you a winning player because just to get minutes, you got to play hard. You got to compete at the defensive end. And you got to be ready for your moment. So, hey, guys will take the minimum.
Yeah, but also that poll was by if you look at the people they actually polled, it's not current NBA players. It's like past.
Some of them were current for sure.
Yeah,
I know. I was watching Fred Katz with The Athletic. I watched him talk to a couple different players.
Why did they hate? I don't get it. Like I get it. He this overplaying. Like he was on the roommates pod, and I was just like, you can just see like he's a likable person. He's just laughing with the guys.
I
Like
think he's doing that shit at practice, not for nothing.
Wait,
I think
who you
even
talking
the
about
players
laughing with the
felt
guys?
like he was different on the pod versus like he was funny.
Tibbs has some hilarious moments. I ain't gonna hold you.
what's your
Tibbs-
favorite Thibodeau moment, Chris, from the season in practice?
When that story dropped about him being built like Adonis, he was younger. That was funny. And then when the AI generated Tibbs moment came around that had him going onto the stage and dancing around, that was hilarious too. Tibbs is a likable guy, man. He's funny.
I also think it's interesting. The roommates pod just had Mitch on, and everyone's like, "Why are you having Mitch? We're probably trading him." And I'm like, "You guys don't know that, like."
It was recorded last week anyway. It's not
What?
live.
No, it was recorded today.
When?
It was recorded today.
Today?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, they put out a tweet like we're filming with Mitch, and he's 5 minutes late, and they said, "Jalen, text Mitch. Does Mitch know?" And he thought he was in Central. He's in Central Time. He just moved to Tennessee.
I thought that
Mitch
was
just moved.
that was last week.
I wonder. I don't know. I keep getting this question in the DMs of like, do we think that OG is going to sign on the first day of free agency? I don't think it's going to be the first day of free agency.
Usually everybody signs the first day.
Yeah.
Like within that.
I think it's just going to be dominoes that have to fall, right?
Yeah.
Like you got a team. You got number one, Detroit's a wild card because they got 60, however many $1 million. Philly's a wild card, right? Okay, so you got so many different wild cards. It depends on where if Paul George ends up somewhere, that might dictate where OG ends up, right? If Paul George ends up in Philly, that takes a piece off the board, right? OG is not. I don't think OG is anyone's number one target, right? OG is like the consolation prize if you can't get Paul George, or if that main guy that you want isn't there. Well, we got cap space. Let's go get OG. I think he's the Knicks' main target. I think the Knicks need to treat him like that. But at the same time, you're talking about 4 years. God knows how much. That's a lot of money, man.
Bagley and Woj are reporting it's unlikely that the Knicks are going to. Woj said the ability to re-sign Isaiah becomes more difficult now. The Knicks are loading up on wings. Bagley said Hartenstein is expected to be a top target for several opposing teams. It becomes increasingly unlikely that New York Knicks will be able to retain Hartenstein.
That sucks.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case, welcome back, Mitch.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Mitch, and maybe Drummond and Goga.
Yeah.
Goga,
What
is it?
like Goga.
I just want the Knicks to get. I just want the Knicks to get one center who can shoot the damn three ball. Right, that'd be nice.
Good luck.
We had him in iHeart.
I want iHeart back. I really
wasn't shooting no threes.
I do too. I want him back too.
want iHeart back, and I think it's stupid.
Who's going to be the insurance?
Signing it. You know who's going to be the first signing of the New York Knicks? Ryan Arcidiacono.
There you go. You understand.
Back until like
I wouldn't be surprised with
later.
that.
Someone told me, yeah, we're gonna resign Ryan.
Breaking news: we're signing Ryan Arcidiacono. I'm kidding.
We're gonna resign him just to trade him at the deadline for somebody else. Is what someone told me. I'm like, okay.
But also I think it's good. Josh is not going to be playing 40 minutes a night.
That's amazing. Shout out. Josh is the winner in this.
Yeah,
Josh's legs are.
He's like, Bridges, you're going to play now 40 minutes and see how it is this season. But I'm scared now. I hope that Bridges doesn't get injured because he's been Iron Man. Maybe this narrative of Thibodeau running players into the ground. Possibly this can happen. We're 20 people away from 3,000. Help me retweet the space.
I can't imagine Tibbs' reaction to learning that Mikal Bridges has never missed a game since high school. Like Tibbs is probably somewhere laughing right now.
He's like salivating right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna retweet this again so we can get to 3K. Hopefully it works.
Hey, there we go. No, but
whose account is it under?
Let's talk next.
That's our next.
Okay, right now, yeah.
2.9.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So
Shout out for filing in.
wait, guys. Okay, I just refigured my trade to the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler to New York. OG, Miles McBride, the two players on the $2 million, Diakite Jeffries on the $2 million, and Sims to the Miami Heat.
I don't know if I want to give up Deuce. I'm
We
sorry.
just hit 3,000.
If I do that, if I'm
3,000. Yo.
hey,
Everybody who's
Shout
tapped
out.
into the show.
Wait, so
massive-
say that trade again?
I do that for Miami.
OG Anunoby,
Okay.
Miles McBride, the two players, Diakite Jeffries or Charlie,
Okay.
and Sims. No, wait. Sorry.
First,
Charlotte, you got to put the shades back on.
right?
Okay.
It's the only way
Maybe
this is
I'll read
going to
it
make any
right.
sense.
Maybe I'll read it right if I have it. Okay.
There you go.
Okay. OG Anunoby. Wait, it's actually I wrote this out because it will have two different things. Okay. Yes, I like my glasses. I'm gonna start wearing these.
There you
on.
go.
I promise. When the Knicks make a move tomorrow, I'm gonna wear these.
There you
And
go.
I have two things as I would do as an NBA GM right now. OG Anunoby, Miles McBride, and the $2 million fillers, KJ Jeffries, whatever, and Sims and Mitchell Robinson for a pick. Hold on. Jimmy Butler to New York. Wait.
Charlotte, I think you're confusing yourself.
Okay, the trade, Jimmy Butler to New York, OG, Miles McBride, 2 players on the $2 million, and Sims to the Heat.
How much money is going each way?
I don't know the breakdown of that, but I just thought of that.
I think that would determine whether or not the trade can happen.
Miami,
Yeah,
But-
exactly. Because
Well, who knows how much OG's going to sign for? Who knows what he's going to sign for?
If I'm
but
on-
remember,
oh man, what a
bless you.
what a day! What a day!
Hey, Charlotte, it might be time to get Kyle Kuzma here.
Oh
Perfect.
my God, Chris!
Perfect insurance.
Look at him.
Perfect insurance.
Kyle
OG.
Kuzma thing forever.
Chris,
How long has Eddie been on Kyle Kuzma?
you don't know, but Eddie has been
You don't understand my pain.
last year.
Kyle, damn Kuzma.
Per-
Last year.
Perfect injury insurance for OG and Randall. You could slide into the 4. Be your, imagine that bench with Kuzma, Dante, Hart. That's a good bench.
Maybe Eddie should work in ticket sales for BSE and sell Brooklyn Nets tickets.
That's tough. Man, that's
Well,
fantastic.
look, I know while players are still out there, DeJounte Murray, what's the likelihood?
To
All right
us,
now,
Yeah,
Well,
had to ask.
to us, 0.
Yeah, had to ask.
I think at this point that ship has sailed.
And plus, it's taking back more money than we're giving out, unless they're taking the $2 million guys or Deuce. They're gonna have to take
Yeah.
Deuce in that.
Right.
we got 3,093, over 3,000.
You know, it's got 3,100 off that last, another 100 off that last retweet, Chris.
Hey,
we go.
listen, we outside.
Yeah, Chris
Poor
got
Mikal Bridges. This Michael Scotto tweet is getting reshared. Mikal Bridges, I wasn't raised when things get tough to want to leave and get out. I know people might want to think about different situations and teams. Obviously, I got my boys over there in New York, so everybody goes with that. I'm here now and want to stay here. Man,
You in New York now?
I like how we forced their hand.
yeah.
Finally, Donovan Mitchell didn't do this. Mikal Bridges, I'll give him credit for doing that. But yeah,
See, but
I think with all things like pointing towards, I think if the Nets would have been in play for Donovan Mitchell, then maybe he would have stayed. But it looks like Donovan Mitchell's about to get the super bag from Cleveland.
Yeah.
So I think once that ship sailed, just like, all right, what are your other options? Does Darius Garland make me a championship contender? No. Right. If you were able to get Donovan Mitchell, maybe. But I think at this point, it's like, all right, well.
But why did like we've seen it in the past. We'll wrap up with this. I just Bridges went to his agent, but Jake Fisher said that if he didn't, but Ian Bagley saying he did, so it's kind of confusing a little bit right now. But Bridges was able to do it, and he got to his team. Dame didn't wind up to the team he wanted. Donovan, when he was, flirting, I would say, with New York, didn't do it. I just don't understand, the scope of, requesting a trade. What Paul George is probably going to – I think Paul George is going to go to Golden State, but, I wonder what the hell is going to happen. I just don't get the scope of, how requesting trades work, because your GM's going to listen, especially you go to your agent calls Sean Marks like he wants the Knicks.
Yeah, and then you call the Knicks and say, I want all the picks you got.
I also
Every last one of them.
I also think it came down to leverage with Mikal.
Right.
2 years left, where
Right.
Donovan had he had 2 years left, but Donovan Mitchell never forced their hands. He never said trade me to New York. Mikal actually said, I'm going to New York. I'm not going anywhere else. So, good for him, but kind of bad for us in a lot of ways.
No,
I mean,
I
not
wish
really,
it
'cause-
dragged out. I think the price would have been lower if they dragged it out a little bit and linked the report that Bridges requested.
Yeah.
Now, is it okay for me to say we're a championship contender now?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Knicks were championship contenders last year before everybody broke down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now you just improved that team.
You added Mikal and lost 0 players. I mean,
Yeah.
you're gonna
You
die
lost
hard.
Bogey, but Bogey wasn't really. That's a win. You lose picks, but I
Right.
mean, listen. I'm on the other side of the
Knicks can't
fence.
play.
Eddie, I think this team now
play.
really matches up well with a team like Boston because as long as you get OG back, you got OG, you got Mikal, you got Jalen. Jalen's proven no one-on-one defender can stop him. I'm still high on Julius and his fit and his ability to just barrel through whoever's in front of him. I think this team has a really high ceiling.
I think we have a high ceiling too. I think we're still a move away to really put us over the top.
Yeah.
I think it's
might feel that way too.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Might feel that way. We might see something coming up. Might see that Jimmy Butler trade like Charlie was talking about. Who knows? Paul George.
Jake Fisher just published these Wildcat connections run deep, and Kyle Lowry has even mentioned by NBA figures
I heard
as
about that.
target for New York in free agency.
I would love that.
Nice.
I don't want Kyle Lowry. He flops.
What?
That helps
minimum
us.
off the bench? What?
No, I do
Kyle
not.
Lowry on a minimum off the bench. Are you kidding
Hell
me?
yeah.
He's a
Do we
champion.
not believe in Miles McBride anymore? Like, I'm
No,
sorry.
no.
But he'll be behind Miles.
Just because you get Kyle don't mean you can't play Deuce too.
Yeah,
Like
you playing behind.
Yeah, nah,
Guys,
Kyle's
when we get to the playoffs, we're gonna run a 6-man rotation.
Kyle's a pro.
I mean, I doubt that.
You know what? Are we just becoming the Villanova Knicks? Like that's literally. what-
Yeah, we've been the Villanova Knicks.
Brother, where you been? Who lives in a
Right.
pineapple under the sea? You.
Right.
Hey, guys, look at this video. Hold on.
So I'm scrolling on Twitter and I see Mikal Bridges would be the final piece to the Knicks for a championship. At Vert tweets it, SNY retweets it. In what world are the Nets sending
Who is
Mikal
that?
Bridges to the Knicks? Would never happen. Nets aren't even trading him for Jalen Green and their own picks back, which are lottery picks. So I quote tweet and say, well, I think it would be really nice if the Nets went for Jalen Brunson. And then, of course, Knicks fans, oh, Biseglia, you moron. Oh, Biseglia, you idiot. That's the point. It would never happen.
Mm.
Now it's time to do it.
This is what I said when I said my phone is on fire from Nets fans who are upset. Listen, man, it's tough. That's tough. But listen, shout outs to Cam Thomas.
Oh,
Cam
yeah.
Thomas about to get paid because he's about to average 40.
Yeah. He's definitely going to break the Nets record for scoring. I feel he's going to try to go for it. I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, look, they picked the direction. Not Mikal. Joe Tsai said he was going to – this is not a surprise. I mean, it's a surprise that it was us, but it's not a surprise that the Nets were going to blow it up. When they were saying they wanted to keep him, it was clearly for leverage to say, hey, we want more for him.
Yeah.
A lot of people were probably lowballing the first offer, but look, it's done. Rockets fans are happy. Nets fans, not so much. I don't know.
They seem happy.
I don't know.
They're splintered.
Yeah,
that franchise is splintered, but they have a clear path forward, which is down because they're gonna have to tank. And
Yeah, but knowing the
They
Nets,
don't have their own
Right.
picks. That's what's crazy.
they have their own picks. I thought.
they're getting some of them back, but they dealt a lot of them for. They're not getting all of them back.
No.
I just can't believe between you really went all Kevin Durant and KD really, or I just said Kevin Durant and KD.
You did,
Kevin
but it's,
Durant and Kyrie and James Harden really screwed the franchise.
they gave him a chance, man. I don't. And I was there, right? I covered that.
That must have been crazy.
The turning point of that whole operation was when Kyrie decides not to get vaccinated, which, you know what I'm saying, no matter where you stand on, it's your right. And then on top of that, the next move for the Nets was to say, okay, well, if you don't want to get vaccinated, we're going to just banish you. And even in cities where there is no vaccine mandate, we don't want your 25, 5-5. We want you to go home and get out of here because you didn't get the vaccine, right? Not only that, you can't practice with us either. That was one of the things while I was reporting on that whole saga that Kyrie felt slighted and disrespected by. And then from there to trade James Harden for Ben Simmons, I mean, it was all downhill from there. So there's a lot of blame to go around for that situation. We're past that now, but I mean, brutal mismanagement of that team right there, unfortunately.
I think tomorrow's going to.
Grade the trade before we go.
Yeah.
Oh man, lot of draft picks going out. But I think at the end of the day, you get your guy. I think at the end of the day, the fit makes a lot of sense. A minus, maybe A minus, just because of the number of picks that you have to give up. But at the end of the day, that oxtail be hitting. That oxtail be hitting.
And what grade are you giving the Nets?
Appreciate.
I give it a C
For the Nets.
Give it a C. Mikal Bridges went for more picks than KD, man. So, I mean, that to me is insane. That's a Devin Booker package. I give this a trade a C. We'll see where it takes the Knicks. I still think they're, one player away from really being a championship contender. We're contenders, but to put us over the top, we need one more guy here.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well,
And we got to sign Hart too. We got to bring him back. And OG, of course.
And OG. We have to just sign OG.
Ogogia back to New York. That's one name I can actually pronounce. Appreciate everyone for joining us. We got 3,200.
How can you pronounce OG's name but not Mikal? What is wrong with you, Charlotte? Something
Coverage.
You have an issue.
Coverage.
Okay, well, appreciate it for coming out. Over 3,200 people joined us tonight.
Let's
Shout out
go.
to Eddie, Chris, Stan, and Chris Cap Guy for joining us. We will be back tomorrow with a live stream. Chris will come after the draft because he's got to write and report on what's going on.
I'll be there. I'll tune in straight from the draft too. So I'll be at Barclays.
Hey, we got a live coverage right from the draft.
There you go.
Stopping by. Thank you guys for listening. Again, back at it for the draft tomorrow. We'll see you on the live. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.